quality. It's so many songs pushed out, just for money, and it's not a feeling to it. So, hey, what's up, Steve?
Yo, 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 what's up, man?
Yeah, appreciate you for coming on. Uh,
Okay.
I thought I had more guests. I guess something happened, but
Oh, okay.
appreciate you for being on, and having conversation. Diddy had sparked a lot of buzz in the community. Uh,
Right.
it's R&B Dead. A lot of people think it's for marketing, because he got a new label. What do you feel about him saying R&B is dead?
I think it's because when we think about R&B, we thinking about the '90s, especially the '90s and the early 2000s. Not so much of the '80s and '70s and stuff, because uh, because of just I guess because of the generation that came after, us and stuff behind us. But I'm thinking what it is that just like everybody else, we trying to get back to the love because a lot of music is focused on like, well, to get you and I want to f this and
Yeah,
what I'm saying, and treating it like you're treating it like an object instead of like begging, like Keith Sweat, what I'm saying, he always beg, and you know we just trying to get back to the love and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You wonder why and stuff. Why a lot of times relationships and stuff like, they don't last long. It was music like the stuff we grew up listening to
yeah,
that ignited that, and even the '90s, it was influenced by old school music as well. But
yeah,
yeah, we just trying to get back to it because what's going on is that while R&B is sounding like hip hop, and because of the influence and
yeah,
hip hop is sounding like R&B, is also changing the language, also of what how it all started. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Or it's changing like the definition of it. Like,
Right. So
yeah,
so 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 it's not just enough for me just to rap. I gotta talk about what rappers is talking about. Like it's all about getting money. And even with hip hop, it used there was times of showing love and admiration and stuff. But yeah, man,
yeah,
it's about the love.
yeah, yeah. And I feel like social media, kind of, I wouldn't say ruined the mystery of R&B, but as
Hmm.
far as the artist, it kind of ruined the mystery of an artist. Like, you wouldn't know all these, small details about artists,
Right.
before social media. Tevin
Hmm.
Campbell just came out, that he's gay, and
Right.
we won't even think about, that, these artists' sexuality back then. You know,
Right. I mean, just like Luther Vandross, what I'm
yeah,
saying, when he had came out, because we is separated, what I'm saying, his lifestyle. That's why, like, even we, well, that other conversation is another conversation,
yeah,
but
yeah,
we're talking about separate. Even Diddy said he had separated that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that we was going by how the music made you feel and how
yeah,
it related to when you was with your girl, or
yeah,
like, you were trying to get your girl back and everything like that. And
yeah,
so it wasn't necessarily about we weren't looking at that person's lifestyle. It was about the music that they made for the world. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Kevin separated his lifestyle, what I'm saying, and he did a service for like people who needed like Can We Talk? Because of
yeah,
Can We Talk, there was more men that approached women that felt maybe intimidated or felt shy or what I'm
yeah,
saying, or felt like dang, she gonna reject me. So
yeah,
Can We Talk? It was more so also an encouragement to say, hey fellas, you know what I'm saying? Hey, go up there. If you want to talk to her. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that. Whether she
yeah,
say yes or no, but she
yeah,
made an approach. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So yeah, man, we got to get over that, like, you know what I'm saying, just that and that, because if you don't, then you're gonna take away from you're not gonna focus on what the message was intended to be.
yeah, yeah. Do you think people saying R&B is dead? Do you think that's a generational opinion? Like, we our parents look at our music and say, oh, that ain't real R&B, and then we look at R&B today, we
Yeah.
like, oh, that ain't, you know,
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because our generation is saying that R&B is dead, but even our parents' generation, they weren't saying that. They just
Yeah.
said, you know what I'm saying, that's not music or that wasn't sounding like. I think what's going on is that which see as we're growing older,
Yeah.
we're understanding. See, we grew up with the music, so we can like hone it. We can like, in other words, we can appreciate it even more because we're trying to get these young people to say, "Hey, look, you want to know what great music sound like? I'm telling you, this was the music. There's a
Yeah.
reason why these songs lasted the way they do, and they continue to play.
Yeah.
Music nowadays, it comes quick. You know what I'm saying, like that. And
Yeah.
so, just like a song could be hot today, there's another song behind it, but is it going to stand the test of time when I'm gone? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, music that we listen to now that even our parents grew up listening to is still here. Like you still hear the wedding
Yeah.
because they're classics. They don't
Yeah.
they don't get old. Even with this music that's moving fast like lightning,
Yeah.
this music is still standing. It's like a mountain. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It has a foundation because of the emotion that it you felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You connected with it. You know,
Yeah.
we're trying to be all about emotion, not
Yeah.
pride.
Yeah. And I think a lot of music these days don't have that nostalgic factor. You know, it doesn't take you back to a time. It's just all about
Right.
making money at that time. You know, for the
Right.
artists, but they're
Yeah.
not. You know, they're not taking the time with the music. You know, to make it timeless for
Right.
their audience.
And I hate to say this, but it's kind of in the sense of, and this is not trying to steer away from the topic. This is actually going with it. But
Yeah.
it's like anything else. It's just like even there was a time with holidays, like Christmas. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Christmas like is not appreciated like it used to be because it wasn't so focused on getting. It's like they
Yeah.
making it a business. That's why they're doing it early.
Yeah.
Whereas like the songs that reflected around it, regardless of what, whether
Yeah.
I'm shopping online, those songs that we listen to that
Yeah.
still stand is a reason why they still there, regardless of the
Yeah.
business side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the industry, like the executives, music executive, they kind of purposely put R&B with hip hop, and it kind of steered that sound as far as
Right.
R&B and hip hop kind of connecting together, and that's what Tank was
Yeah.
talking about
Right.
with Diddy. You know, he was talking about how the rapper is singing and the singer is rapping, and it was purposely like that. Over
Right.
time. Yeah.
Right. Like, cause what started to happen is that not only was R&B married to hip hop, but hip hop conformed R&B and R&B conformed hip hop.
Yeah.
So you started to have singers starting to have, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. But you
Yeah.
started to have singers even having alter egos. They
Yeah.
start having being rappers too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's poured into now and then you got someone like Drake who changed the game, where
Yeah.
like he's singing and rapping, but he made it cool. Now everybody want to do it, and then auto tune. Anybody can use auto tune.
Yeah.
So it was all about, hey, if I can make a melody, I don't have to sound real good, but guess what? If I can make a melody, if I can convert the melody, I mean, people can still feel the emotion in it, but it just won't the same as someone who, like, Dad, this really did it for me.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
the generation that's now,
Yeah.
they listen to music and they're touched by it
Yeah.
from a point that maybe if
Yeah.
I listen to it, I gotta really take time to listen to it because their language of how they understand music and how it conveys to their emotions is
Yeah.
different than
Yeah.
ours too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Oh,
hate,
stop.
and
Say
I
it.
know a lot of people say, don't bring up this guy. But you gotta talk about this guy, R. Kelly. You know, we
Look,
missing his creativity, storytelling, all that.
look. I'm gonna say this. There's that Tank show that's about I think it's on now with the
Oh
John
yeah.
B.
Oh yeah, I saw
He
that
said
clip. Yeah. Yeah.
is no R&B without the John B, and there's no R without the R.
Yeah.
Kev.
So, yeah. Yeah, they said that he said that on another show that they said go ahead and say it, go ahead and say it. And he
Yeah.
said R. Kelly. He said who was the top people you looked up to in R&B, and he said R. Kelly, and you can't argue with that. He's
Man, bro, I'm gonna tell you something. R. Kelly is like it's just like Babyface has written so many songs and like yeah, he's still relevant now. R. Kelly is just like that. I mean, he's written for so many artists, but he's been in movies. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? He's just done a lot. And the thing is that we separated. We did. We separated his lifestyle until people started to say, you know what? I don't know if I can or not.
yeah, yeah,
But the thing is, we never stopped
yeah,
listening to his music in
yeah,
spite of
yeah, 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 yeah,
because I'm gonna tell you something.
yeah,
There's an artist right now who's not here, but we
yeah,
can't clear his name. And I'm talking about Elvis.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love Elvis, but if you wanna, but see, if I can't listen to R. Kelly, I can't listen to Elvis.
yeah. Same. Yeah, and the same thing with well, we're gonna say Michael Jackson. You know,
But that was a legend.
yeah, yeah, yeah. People still listen to Michael.
They still listen to Michael,
So,
so that's a
so,
legend.
yeah, yeah. The only difference is, R. Kelly is really, he's getting what, the consequences that
Yeah,
all these other people,
right.
in the past,
And,
they,
and which is understandable. I mean, you know what I'm saying, which is understandable and is letting you know that, hey, look, just because you have fame and power, you can't just do anything, but see at the same time though, I can't just point the finger at R. Kelly. It's the people that was around him. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But when money's in the equation, money changes everything until it runs out.
yeah,
But
yeah,
but at the same time though, man, I'm sorry, but it's like when you see what he's done and the
yeah,
people that were influenced, when they
yeah,
said if there was no R. Kelly, I don't know if I would be here, or
yeah,
even if I was on the scene, I don't even know if my music would sound the way it does if R.
yeah,
Kelly didn't influence it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true.
And that goes vocally as well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I saw a R. Kelly song at a talent show, and it was nothing but gospel music. And you know that you was there,
yeah, yeah,
and I was embarrassed, but I laughed at it. But that's the influence that R. Kelly had on me.
yeah,
On me, my sister said,
yeah,
"Why you sound like R. Kelly in church?" R.
yeah,
Kelly just, I'm gonna tell you something. R. Kelly played in the church. We grew
yeah,
up in the church. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That was one connection about R. Kelly as well. Is that
yeah.
you could tell he came from the church.
Yeah,
And,
and that's
and,
and
and
that's and that's another thing that I want
yeah,
to talk about. A
uh huh,
lot of these artists is not as influenced by church as they used to. A lot of these new artists, and
right,
so that can cause a difference in the sound of R and
right.
B because R and B is from church and
It's
jazz. Yeah, yeah,
Man, I'm
yeah,
glad you brought that up because that's the reasons why we connect so much with R&B is because where with the people that were in church and the influence. See, you could take them out the church, you can't take the church out of them.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that I apologize, the car's going by, but
Oh
I'm
yeah, it's
waiting on
all
my
good.
bus.
Yeah,
But let me know if it's too loud. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, man, it's that influence when you listen to Case, KC,
yeah,
Jodeci,
yeah. They from church.
Black.
Yeah,
They from church,
yeah,
Blackstreet.
yeah.
Who else? Who's
Uh,
some of your from the? I'm
fan,
just talking about
Fantasia,
Fantasia,
Brandy,
Kiki,
yeah, Mariah Carey, yeah,
Mariah Carey,
yeah,
and
Kelly
when they
Price,
Kelly Price. That's
yeah,
just nothing but church music, and
yeah,
every song she does. I mean, but it makes us appreciate where we came from because it also let us know that hey, look, it was cool to listen to R&B
yeah,
because the people that inspired us was the people that came from church just like us. They was listening to R&B in church, and
yeah,
then when they branched out of it, and they
yeah,
never left.
yeah,
They just took the church with them
yeah,
and had a love for love songs and is poured into it and made people. And matter of fact, church people, especially couples, you know what I'm saying, like that were married, they listen to those things.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not going to listen to Amazing Grace and something's going to conceive out of it. You know what I'm saying? My wife's not going to
yeah,
conceive a baby
yeah.
out of oh how I love Jesus.
And
You
that's
know what
what
I'm saying?
and that's the conversation Diddy had too. He said a lot of these songs these days is just getting straight to it. It ain't like romance, like
Right.
you know.
And I understand sometimes, people need to get in those moments because too, there's certain things that, hey, look, sometimes you need to get straight to the point just because of
Yeah.
like,
Like
of
R.
what it
Kelly,
does for you.
R. Kelly did have songs. He did go straight to it,
But
but
what's crazy
it
though?
still had
Be,
like a timeless
it
sound
had
to
a
it.
top, right. It still had feeling in it. See,
Yeah.
that's what separate. See, R. Kelly could make a song about doing what, and still it sounded like a love song.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It still had emotion behind it, like feeling. It was as if you took the P word and put love in it. He just
Yeah.
changed the words, but also too, I believe R. Kelly made it just like Boosie said. He made it cool for people who was about that, but they just interpret it in their own way because of the slang and the street words that they would use. But
Mhm.
see, the thing is too is that it made them go back to the foundation of the things that this is what my parents was listening to. Okay, all right, like what I'm saying. I'm starting to appreciate, what I'm saying, where this really came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. It's it's a lot. It's a lot with it. Uh, the other question is, did trap music kind of, because some people think trap music kind of ruined the sound of R&B. I think when I listen to Tank new album,
yeah,
I think he's like the bridge between the current sound and the old sound, because
yeah,
he still have R&B rhythms,
right,
melodies, but he
yeah,
still add the trap hi
yeah,
hats, to
right,
kind of mix it up. So do you
right.
think trap is kind of taken away from the R&B sound?
Oh man. Well, see, it's like this. I do, in the sense of the ones who wasn't mature in the before it happened.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? In other words, and stuff, Tank can do that because see, Tank's trying to reach an audience as well. He's trying to get his music across, but he's also trying to let people know that too. Hey, look, I can keep up, but I'm trying to show you the foundation of
yeah,
where it all started from before. See, before, if it wasn't for the
yeah,
originality of it, trap music would not be.
yeah. And I think on Tank new album, he's kind of introducing the new faces of R&B. Like
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Vito,
Vito. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, what's that? What's the girl name?
Alex
Yeah,
Isley, yeah,
yeah. But
yeah,
see, this is the thing. At the end of the day, this is not going to stop trap music because
yeah,
trap music is already here.
yeah. Trap
There's still
music,
going to be somebody, just like what
yeah,
T Pain said. We already got too many babies. Like,
yeah,
come with something original. It's
yeah,
cool for the moment, but see, it's going to take more than one voice or two. It has to be more followers.
yeah,
They're just going to listen. It's like listening to a sermon.
yeah,
Like, other people eventually going to have to be touched by it and
yeah,
inspired to do it.
yeah,
Because as long as, see, this is the thing. There's more trap music out than anything.
yeah, yeah. You ain't lying
It's
about that.
everybody and their cousin.
Yeah,
It's and as I can't even keep up with little this, little like,
I mean, I ain't
what
gonna
I'm saying?
lie. I ain't gonna lie. It's very lucrative for us producers, because
Yeah,
I can go on my computer right now and make like 50 beats in an hour, trap beats, because
right. It's
it's the
that.
sound. Yeah.
But it's see, and right, it's the set, right? What
Yeah.
did Mary say? It's the sound.
But at the same time, you know, I think nowadays it's more about quantity over quality. It's like
Right.
they
See,
just yeah.
see, this is the thing. This is what's gonna help fix things. It's going to have to take a separation and not being a part of what's going on now.
Yeah.
You have to stand out.
Yeah.
In other words, in order to change, you have to be the change. So that means you have to do something different than
Yeah.
nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
Even if you have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, try to do a song, and there's songs out there without trap beats.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you gotta focus on, okay, the emotion. The emotion is gonna be the center of it, but then it's gonna also go with the melody of what you're trying to do. And
Yeah.
see, we're missing bridges. Like you said, we're missing bridges and
Yeah.
chords, but everything is centered around the emotion.
Yeah.
See, Case song "Missing You,"
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying, and his voice wasn't the best that day. He was sick,
Yeah.
but
I can't
yet,
sing no more.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But right,
Yeah.
but because of the emotion, he'll
Yeah.
focus on the content of the emotion of "Babe, I
Yeah.
miss you." And sometimes, right, and I'm not trying to preach.
Yeah.
Sometimes even when you gotta scream out to somebody, you gonna
Yeah.
lose your voice
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you love them that much and you don't want them to make the biggest mistake of their life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by him doing that, it took all of that to be what it needed to be for the track.
Hey, what's up, Jared?
What's
Hey, what's
going
up,
on,
Jerry?
folks? How y'all feeling, man?
What's
Yeah.
going on, bro?
Yeah.
I'm chilling,
Yeah.
man. I'm chilling. Happy to
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. You right about that. I think R&B is missing emotion too.
Cause,
Uh.
cause, cause remember what's the Troy Taylor? He did
Yeah.
the vocal expression,
Yeah.
and he used R. Kelly for example. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And he was talking about I don't mean it. So the first version, he's pouring his heart out. You can feel it. But
Yeah.
then the second one, he just, you know what I'm saying? He ain't really feeling. He just kind of just going off of his pride. He not even necessarily like showing that he really wanted. He's just like, hey,
Yeah.
forget you. Hey, look, if you don't want me, cool. It's all good. I'll move on to the next one. But we
Yeah.
don't want that. We don't
Yeah.
want that. We want the like, I really want you. Because
Yeah.
really, if you think about it, even when he did that remix, it was still showing you that guess what?
Yeah.
From the first one, he really wanted her.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just doing that because nothing ain't happening, but he really still love her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, and we're gonna go back to the beginning though, cause Diddy, Jared just came up, and Diddy had sparked the conversation that he said, R&B is dead, and do you think, Jared, is that a generational opinion, or is that you think that's a fact?
Man, can y'all hear me?
It's kind of low, kind of low.
Let me crank up a little bit.
Yeah.
Man. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, it's getting better. Is it
Yeah.
getting better?
Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah,
Bet,
yeah,
bet. All right.
yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, I guess that is a generational thing. When you Diddy and you 55 years old and you grew up on, real music. Or
yeah,
even if you like me and you, we in our 30s and
yeah,
we grew up on real shit.
yeah.
But, it's
Hey,
like, what is it?
excuse me, Steve, the car is kind of loud in the back. Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
yeah,
No, you good.
yeah,
So yeah, I think that's definitely a generational opinion because you would have had to kind of know what it felt like for R&B to be alive
yeah,
for you to call it dead. And
yeah,
if R&B been dead your whole life,
yeah, yeah,
then you really don't have any perspective.
yeah,
But like I heard my man say, like you you said that too. We missing the emotion. But
yeah,
then again, like when you look at the world, the emotion not there.
yeah,
The sex is there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about girls, like I got girls on my line, like talking about like fly me out. Like you know what I'm saying? That's a different kind of kind of thing than what was going on
yeah,
when we were in college.
yeah. It's a
Or even
different,
10 years
yeah,
ago, like
yeah,
they not saying take me on a date. They talking like fly me out.
yeah,
Like that's a whole different conversation. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think the music is imitating life because everybody's got a business.
yeah,
Nobody's married. I mean, I got friends
Yeah.
that's married, but you know what I'm saying? That's not the primary goal.
yeah,
Because now it's like you 30, you want to get a business. If you're a woman, you want
Yeah.
to get a business before you get a husband. That comes first.
yeah,
Right.
So if the business is coming before the relationship,
yeah,
that's really what we hearing. We hearing business music.
Right.
We're not hearing love
Right.
music.
Right.
and even if you've been in the studio, man, like everything is like
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. We getting loops plus
Yeah.
drums.
Yeah. 2 minutes.
And if you listen to the old music, like I mean, music that came out probably, I mean, I guess you say before like 2005,
Yeah.
2005 and prior,
Yeah.
the music
Yeah.
was perfect. Like a
Yeah.
lot of that
Facts.
stuff B Cox was making was perfect.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, we got a hit because we got this artist and this producer. No, the music
Right.
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
The
flawless.
music.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
flawlessly executed. It was
Yeah.
meticulously
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
edited and all
Yeah.
of that. And you had the best musicians
Yeah.
to kind of create emotions. But
Yeah.
nowadays it's just a static
Look.
Yeah.
thing of music, and we don't get the emotions because we don't have the producers that know how to
Yeah. That's
create
true.
that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
You're
just
right about that.
business. It's
Yeah.
business
Right.
music, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facts.
Transactional music.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Usher kind of clapped back at Diddy.
Uh-huh.
He said how is hip hop dead, and we still have the people that created the basis of R&B. And he's talking about he's crazy that he's saying that R&B doesn't exist, and people like him and himself is still here to create R&B. But you right about that. R&B is reflecting people's lifestyle now.
Right.
People they just getting straight to it. On the first date, they just getting straight to it. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's kind of
everything sound like
yeah,
I've been saying this for a long time. All the music,
yeah,
every time people say R&B not dead, listen to this person,
Yeah.
this person, this person, and it's some
Yeah.
good music. Like I listened
Yeah.
to Sir the
Yeah.
other day.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had a project that came out in 2019.
oh yeah, sir, good,
Which
yeah,
Sir is cool. So I listened to it. My man's like Sir, but when you listen to it, it's not. It's good.
Right.
It's
It's
good
good.
music, but it sound like fucking music.
yeah,
It don't
yeah,
sound.
Right.
It don't. It ain't. It's like
Right.
that's it. That be
Yeah.
the thing
Right.
because you don't need much. You don't really need much crazy music to have sex. Like you don't need that. You just need a little
Yeah.
vibe.
Right.
Like it
Yeah.
don't take
Right.
that much.
a pad and
Pad and a
a
snap,
trap.
and you good.
Right. Right. Yeah. And a bed and a bed mattress sound. Squeaky sound.
You don't need much, dog.
Yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
that's really what it is. It's like every
Yeah.
time I listen to these artists, I'm not saying that they're whack. But
Yeah.
it's just very one dimensional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I get
Yeah.
Tiana Taylor. She
Yeah.
does it. I feel like she does it better. Like her
Yeah.
production is better, but it's still very much so
It's-
love making music.
Yeah.
It's not soulful.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Not
I
that
feel yeah. And I feel Usher is kind of in a way contradicting because he got on T-Pain about the auto tune.
Yeah.
T-Pain is he kind of evolved R&B in a different way. Now, Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg, they did sexual erupt, seduction.
Right.
It kind of changed the sound of R&B. And so, because Usher got at T-Pain about you messed up R&B or something like that,
Right.
and so it's kind of contradiction that he claps at Diddy about it, and he got at T-Pain about changing the
Right.
sound of R&B. So
And
yeah,
and all his songs is not necessarily like R&B.
yeah, it's pop.
It's like
yeah.
like oh like,
Yeah, he did. Oh my God, and he used auto tune the whole song. So
and he wasn't even feeling it at first, but because it was a hit,
yeah,
and Will.I.am was like, yo, let's go with it. He went with it because of the
Yeah.
business.
Can't
yeah,
turn down hits, man.
yeah,
No, that's a bad thing to do. You can't turn hits down.
yeah, yeah,
You can't.
If you trying
But-
to stay relevant,
yeah.
Because
But you
they
can't.
chase-
But you can't argue that Usher has created timeless music, and he had
No.
great producers.
Facts. I
So-
mean,
it's like
at-
2011.
Yeah,
but see, I think what it is, even like with someone like a Beyonce, they
Yeah.
get to a point where they just having fun. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because they still want to be relevant. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
yeah.
And you must be reading my notes too. I was gonna get to Beyonce.
Oh no,
I mess with you.
You can't talk about music and not talk about Beyonce, bro.
Yeah, I mess with you, Steve. But
oh my bad.
Beyonce, it's like you read my notes. Beyonce, her new album. I think because the alphabet. I'm gonna say the alphabet community. They're more prevalent now. They're more out there now, and so R&B has changed because of that too. Because we have to appeal more to, that society. The melody is still R&B, but the rhythm, is different. And so, what y'all feel about that? It's kind of going to the house music, the Vogue music, and so.
I think it starts with, and I peeped this. I peeped this. I don't know. I peeped this like maybe a year ago. Like how much music is, what's the word when you don't talk about one gender, when you don't talk about male or female?
Oh yeah.
But there's a word for it. Yeah, unisex. I think there's another word, but yeah, basically. So unisex, there's a lot of music like that. Like you get the Kehlani's, and Kehlani is singing a whole record about a stripper. You know what I'm saying, on her new album, which is
her album's dope. Yeah,
album is fire. But it's just a little awkward. It's like you singing a whole song about, can I come? Are you gonna be at work tonight? You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird. It's a weird vibe, and a lot of the songs, you don't have like, I don't know your name, but excuse me, miss. You don't have excuse me, miss, no more, especially from the women.
Yeah,
the dudes are a little more like straightforward, but the women, they can be singing a male or a female, and that's and they I be in the studio like they lean on that, because the minute you say man, now you turned off the LGBTQ.
Right.
But as long as you keep it neutral, now you open yourself up to a broader fan base, which again, transactional music, business decisions.
Yeah,
not emotional decisions, business decisions.
Right.
Yeah. Life imitating art instead of the or art imitating life instead of the other way around.
Yeah, and so going with that, we were talking about earlier, about social media. And social media, you kind of see the other side of these artists. Do you think that kind of damaged the R&B scene, or it kind of the other way around? Because I think it took away from the mystery of R&B artists. We didn't really know their lifestyle. Like Tevin Campbell coming out that he's gay, but we kind of we kind of figured, but it was kind of like a mystery. We would just listen to the music. Right. Now we listen to his songs like, was he really? But he was young at it. He was young at the time. He didn't know what he was saying anyway.
For sure.
But it kind of takes away from the magic of the music in a sense. Yeah.
Or just like Luther Vandross. I mean, he ain't like necessarily say he was gay, but the thing is that we like knew it. But at the same time, he focused the music on.
He got pissed off when somebody asked him that. He said, "Ain't none of your deep business." Freddie Jackson said the same thing too. Yeah. But I ain't gonna say.
Nobody did?
Yeah, Freddie Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can tell, but I ain't gonna get into that. But you can go back to what you about to say, Steve.
No, but I said it goes back to the fact that, like I say, we focused on the music. We didn't focus on the lifestyle of the person. I mean, if you heard about it, you was like, dang, wow, okay. Yeah. But that didn't take away from people stop listening to the music, because you was focused on your situation and your girl, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or the girl you wanted, just like Can We Talk? You know what I'm saying? If I saw this girl over here, I'm going to talk to her, you know what I'm saying? I was just listening to the words as if I was singing it to her. Yeah. I wasn't thinking about, you know what I'm saying, the mere fact that who he was necessarily talking to, even though they got music videos and things like that, and we enjoy the music videos, but at the same time, it reflected what your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, heck, I mean, you have separate.
And then a lot of, the influence, we talking about the influence of church on R&B. Because nowadays, a lot of these artists, they don't go to church. and so that the sound, the sound has changed. You used to have, flat-footed singers like Kelly Price, Brandy. All them come from church. Whitney Houston, Casey and JoJo.
Black music cannot. Black music cannot survive without the black church.
Come on now.
Black music. I don't even go to church, bro. I never even go to church as a kid. But this is the thing. The best musicians on the planet come from the black church.
Yeah.
The best musicians in the world.
Yeah.
Look. The whole globe. You spin it around. You can't have black music without the black church. And now,
without the black church.
Everybody is a producer. Like I say, all it takes is you got some chords, you got snap, and now you got R&B. But the black church, y'all go to church, go to the church on Sunday and listen to what that organist is doing. And that's what was going on in Mikey Howard. And Anita Baker's music is flawless, bro. It ain't no mistakes in it. It ain't no accidental snare taps. It's flawless.
Right. It's flawless.
And if it
cats came from church.
And if it's not perfect, it's like a perfect imperfection. It's
it's rare. It's very rare that her music is not impeccably flawless, though. I ain't never heard her and Whitney Houston probably got the most flawless music that I can ever. It's like you could just you got squeaky clean bathroom. That's how that music is, because that's how the church dudes are. That's how they grew up. They grew up like either if you do make a mistake,
you know how to fix it.
You gotta act like you didn't.
I know that playing organ, you can get away with messed up chords on the organ,
and that's when it's like, oh dang, Anita, you did that, but really it was somebody that made a mistake but was so good. They knew how to fix it in the moment, in the session, because you got to think they're not using Pro Tools in the 80s. Like even in the 80s, I think Pro Tools like officially in the 90s. So it's like in the 80s, you don't have Pro Tools. You might be able to do more takes than they was doing in the 60s and 70s. But it still costs a lot of money for y'all to be running
reel to reels and stuff. ADATs.
If we had to do 2 or 3 takes now, a lot of producers would not exist, bro. A lot of producers would not have jobs. If we only had 1 take or 2 takes, like it would only be the church musicians that would run the industry, like it used to be.
Because oftentimes, like even when I record people, like I turn the auto-tune a little bit, but not too much, because I want the raw vocals to be, smooth, no flat notes and stuff. And then when you put auto-tune on, it makes it more perfect. But that's from old school. But now it's like you just turn on the auto-tune
and let people be trash. And let people swing for the fences. So we can't exist. We can't exist without the
black church.
Without the church. My homie said that a few years ago because he was teaching at our high school. And he was like, man, kids don't go to church no more. And it's like as you learn instruments, most people who learn how to play instruments either learn at school or they learn in church. Those are like the two. Like most people in the hood didn't have private lessons. So you either learned in the church or you learned in your school band or choir. Some kind of way you learn in a civilized, organized way. But if you don't have a band program, and you don't go to church, but you still want to be a producer, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? How you gonna get a foundation?
They gonna hire
YouTube and learn how to use Fruity Loops.
They gonna hire a church musician.
But like, where's your musical foundation? Like Fruity Loops can't be your foundation. It should be like the second level of your development. It can't be the starting point. For most people, Fruity Loops is the starting point. It's their first time touching music. And that's not a good look for the future. It's not a good look for the future.
Like you touched, even the producers back then was from church. B. Cox he used to play in
church guy.
Assembly of God churches. Jamie Foxx, Tank. They played. They producers from the church. Chef Crawford. He did. How Did You Get Here? Deborah Cox. All those Incomplete. And so they played in the church, and you can feel that emotion. Like you in church.
You can feel that when the pastor say something. The pastor say something different. When I turn
And
around, it's like everything had a meaning and a direction.
Then a modulation. We don't hear modulations. Switch keys. So
and then their music, even their R&B music was anointed.
Oh yeah.
Like you could feel like the spirit, like you know what I'm saying?
Goosebumps.
Like wow, like
yeah. And then Rodney Jerkins, he was talking about creating Full Moon, how he he'll go to the church on Sunday, he'll listen to their chords, because if you listen to Full Moon, like Can We, those bridges, it's church. The 251, the 7-6-251, and all that progressions, it's in that. And so
progressions matter, bro.
Yeah. And so now so that leads to, are these people oversampling these days? Because that's all they're doing. Producers like Hitmaker and stuff like that, they are sampling 2,000 songs. Do y'all think that's, they're doing it too much these days?
Yeah. For R&B, bro, like R&B and rap is the same things. Like we was doing some we was talking about the City Girls, and it's like that's how they operate, bro. It's like we need samples. It's not like we don't need just dope beats. We need samples, familiar samples, because that is their blueprint. That's their blueprint. It's not like send us some beats. You better steal something. And give it to us. We don't want nothing that don't have samples in it. Like, and used to be, hey, we don't want samples. Remember, just even 5 years ago, we don't no samples. But nowadays, that's the standard.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, they trying to take those samples and stuff. They trying to take the stuff that still is relevant. You know what I'm saying? Classics and stuff. And so when you listen to the classic, now you can associate it with the City Girls. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know what? It's not enough just to make just a song, because that can come and go. But if I could find a song that we still listening to 20 years from now, and so now it's like, okay, now there's versions to it. So it's like, if I can put my version to it, I'm gonna be up there. I'm gonna always be up there, because that song that I sample is a classic.
Yeah. Because there's millions of people sampled Human Nature, and every song that sampled it, it was a hit.
Bro, I just talked about that. I said that's why. Side note, but I've been talking about this all week. That's why I said Thriller was the better album than Off the Wall, because Thriller produced more hits. Thriller contributed more hits to the culture from years and years and years after. It's like like you skip a rock and then just keep skipping.
Like She Ain't You, Right Here, SWV. They all sample Human Nature. It's
Chris Brown did it too.
Yeah, She Ain't You. Yeah.
Big hits, bro. Like big major hits.
Boys the Men even did it too.
Oh, Hey Lover.
They did Human Nature too.
Oh, they did.
The throwback album. They took all the classics, like
okay. It was worth sampling, but now
it was worth.
Like we live in the remix culture, like because we live in TikTok era. So TikTok, drill
music,
Instagram reels, duets. We live in that culture now, so everything is potential. Source material. Everything is like source material for something else. So it's like whatever you do, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna make something else out. That's the culture we live in. Like recycling.
And look, I'm gonna add a dance to it too.
Nobody has to create anything original now, because you can get paid off somebody else's work.
But
you can easily get paid off somebody else's work.
I mean, that's just like movies, though. I mean, they're doing the same thing. You can remake something, just like they remade Batman so many times, which are good movies. I'm just using an example, but even with music, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
and so it's like,
tough, bro, remix culture.
Remix.
Because Hitmaker was talking about on Breakfast Club, because he sampled a lot of late 2000, early 2000 songs now, and so he's talking about clearing Boy's mind for Tink new album, Cause it's a song called "Mine" featuring Money Long.
Man, and Tink, yeah, just came out.
Yeah, and so so I guess Doc Child Rodney, cause he had posted the song on his page before the album came out. He just posted a clip of Hitmaker in the studio sampling his music, the boy's mind. And when it came to Brandy, she was kind of, I don't know. As long as I sang on it,
Right.
she was like that. But I guess later on, because they said that was the toughest one to clear, because Brandy was kind of like, if I sang on it, because that even went along with Kanye West with Through the Wire, Through the Wire song. Shaka Khan.
Shaka.
Yeah, Shaka Khan had but that's yeah, because Through the Fire is a classic.
Right.
Dave Foster, song, and so I understand why some people it's like that. So
that's how they look at it. The same way they looked at, the same way Shaka, like you say, the same way Shaka looked at Kanye.
Yeah,
it's like you watering something down. Like,
yeah,
Right.
I don't know that you about to be Kanye West, and these days,
yeah,
it's even harder for you to really become a Kanye West or to
Right.
make an album like a college dropout. So it was risky for her in her mind at that point. So even now, it seems like it's even riskier.
yeah.
Like, what am I getting out of this? A few streams, a few $1,000.
And then it depends on who's sampling it too. Because just like you got Beyonce that sampled the Clark sister, you had, even though it's a different genre, but she was praising Beyonce. Oh, we appreciate you, Beyonce. You know what I'm saying, like that. Like
And
we needed that.
and that's a big issue now.
That was a big controversy.
But Twinkie Clark, I think Twinkie Clark is like, I got paid.
Right.
So, but still,
we want to stay relevant. Like, again, we live in a culture of relevance.
Yeah,
you can't just sit in the back
Right.
and collect your checks. No, I mean, old school artists kind of can.
Right.
They kind of can.
Yeah.
Because their music is streaming way more.
Yeah.
Way
new artists. They get way more money. The new artists are doing shows.
Yeah.
Old artists is making money off publishing. You know what I'm saying? They still getting that publishing money because their songs again are just that good.
Right.
Yeah.
And all the TikTok songs are old songs.
Yeah, and a lot of rappers is sampling R&B songs like You My Everything, Mary J. Blige.
The little drill joint.
Yeah, so crazy. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they getting paid off of that. I don't know how they let them, but I mean that's them. They own it.
Like I said, it just might be nice, but they don't want it. Them two, like, they've always been very relevant.
Yeah.
Right.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis have always embraced, and that's how they've been able to stay relevant. They got the Her record.
Yeah.
They sampled them just 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And they've always been been on it. I don't know if that's a personal thing or if that's a business decision or both.
Oh yeah.
They've always been
oh yeah.
You don't hear too many people. You don't hear too many people really lasting like that to do You Remind Me. And then they come had a Her record, and then they come had this new record, and then they come we still talking about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis in 2022.
They monsters. That you should hear. I don't know, Steve. You heard the original song they used for Damage. The original song. You got that song is incredible.
I heard it during the pandemic. I was like, oh, crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, they monsters. So
it's like, as a producer, do you make music that's quote unquote timeless? And I feel like timeless music.
Yeah.
I feel like timeless music is made by instruments.
Yeah.
I think because the thing is, I teach saxophone lessons. You know what I'm saying? I teach saxophone. I just finished 30 minutes ago. People always gonna be putting their kids in piano lessons, saxophone lessons, violin lessons. That's never gonna stop.
Yeah.
Drum lessons, vocal lessons. So I feel like as long as you can tap into that, to me, that's what's real.
Yeah.
Right.
The further you get into the digital instruments and stuff like that, the riskier and the less timeless, if you will, a record is. The more real instruments, the more likely for your record to be coming up 20
Yeah.
Wow.
years from now. That's my theory. I feel like
Hmm.
if you
So
got some real
yeah.
instruments, they don't go out of style.
Right.
So y'all, so that's the next question. That y'all think technology has ruined the sound of R&B, or or has it helped the sound of R&B?
I think it's
I think
ruined the
it's a gift and
sound.
a curse.
Yeah,
I think it's a
yeah,
gift and a curse because it is open opportunity for people who may felt like they couldn't do anything, and because of maybe lost time or maybe because they just didn't have the discipline, it
yeah,
forced them or pushed them to do something. And
yeah,
they just created something. They just made it their own. It just happened not to be maybe on a level that we may would have appreciated it. But for somebody who is just like them, they can appreciate it because they're like, dang, that's like me. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? But this person's representing for us, for the people who may not have the experience, but they went ahead and they figured it out. It just
yeah,
may not be like how my parents or how somebody skilled would appreciate it. But nevertheless, if it sounds good, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
So if
yeah,
it's catchy, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Then
I,
if it's something I can, yeah,
yeah, I agree. It's a gift and a curse because you can use that same technology and still use live instruments,
yeah,
but it's a lot faster. You can do it a lot faster. And
right,
what do you think about it, Jared?
I think the speed. I think the speed is a gift and a curse. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I see
saying?
what
The
I see what you're
speed,
saying. Yeah,
right? So like we want now everything has to be fast. Like you
yeah,
gotta
right,
go. You gotta everybody records fast. Everybody is
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to do it in
yeah,
one take. And what it
yeah,
is in my experience, you get sloppy. Like we pretty meticulous in the studio,
right.
but you get sloppy, and then people be like, "All right, it's good." And the
yeah.
reason why it's good
Yeah, I
is
put on
because
mute.
Oh,
it's
okay.
good enough. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
okay.
The reason why it's good is because it's good enough to go on
Yeah,
TikTok.
yeah,
To be
yeah,
to be like you don't have it don't have to be perfect no more. It's like
yeah,
it's not as much of a it's not as much of a skill anymore.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like we're kind of leaning on the art side of
yeah.
things. And art is subjective. I
Yeah,
mean art is yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
art can be whatever you want it to be.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can
And
look at a paint you can look at a painting and you might see the painting upside down and I might
yeah,
see it right side up. But
yeah, yeah,
skill is like, is that the seven chord? Is that
yeah,
the one chord? Like
yeah,
that's skill. So
yeah,
now, like I say, we going in, we leaning into the art side, and
yeah,
it's hard to say, but I really think black people in general, we
yeah,
need to do better at protecting something that's so close to us.
yeah,
Like music ain't important to everybody.
yeah,
Music ain't as important to everybody, but that's like our number one export,
yeah, yeah,
and we
yeah.
just treat it like it's nothing, bro. Like it's just we don't
Yeah,
protect it in the way we should.
yeah. I think yeah, the veteran artists, I think they should do a better job at protecting the art.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah, yeah. People like Tank can't do it by itself.
No, he
People
can't.
from yeah. So I was thinking earlier though. The early '90s, late '80s. The New Jack Swing came in,
Hmm.
and it changed the sound of R&B as well. And so I think same thing is happening now. The trap music is the big thing now, and so it's changing the sound of R&B again. And so, what do you think about that? The changing sound of R&B.
Whew. I think it's some things that I like about it. Like I don't hate it because I think a lot of the sound is more fun. I think when you the
Yeah.
same way when Mary J came out, when Mary J came out, it was like rap and R&B. When she came out, dun 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 dun
Oh
dun
yeah.
dun dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun,
When she
dun.
came out
Yeah.
with that, it was like, oh, this not Anita Baker no more. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this like
Yeah.
this ain't Gladys Knight no more. This is like, oh, this is fly.
Yeah.
So I think like you say, we're entering or we already kind of in it.
Yeah.
Um, but still I still ain't heard nobody as fly as Mary
Yeah.
yet. I ain't heard
Yeah.
nothing like that. I ain't heard nothing
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
shake you up yet outside of
Yeah.
maybe like a booed up or
Yeah.
something like that, like a record that really like shakes
Yeah.
things up, and then a couple of Tiana Taylor records.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it's shaking. It's not shaking. Nothing is really
Yeah.
shaking things up. But I do think it's fun. I
Yeah.
think you can listen to. I keep using Anita Baker because I've been listening to her, but Anita Baker
Yeah.
ain't fun for everybody. Like I
Yeah.
enjoy it when I'm cooking.
Yeah.
You know, when
Yeah.
I'm with a little chick, you know, we can listen to some Anita Baker and we can vibe out
Oh yeah.
because I'm 30. I'm 35. We can listen
Yeah.
to that together.
Yeah.
But I do think there's room for like
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
R&B,
Yeah.
and I don't think it has to be necessarily gangster. I
Yeah.
think you get the drill songs with the
Yeah.
dun, 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 it's like some gangster
Yeah.
shit.
And I
I
even
think we
think
can be
like
fun. I think we need some
yeah.
fun
Yeah.
R&B, and it ain't got to
Yeah.
be so trapped out. It just needs to be a
Yeah.
little. We need to figure out what that is. I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah. And I think Chris Brown is doing a good job at that. You know, he's kind of bridging.
That sound is good. That
Yeah.
what's the boy's name? The producer.
OG OC Parker.
OG
OG Parker.
OG
OG
Parker.
Parker.
He
Yeah.
got a nice little sound going on.
Yeah. Cause I think a lot of his production had that cowbell in it, and it got that catchy, fun rhythm.
Bloom, bloom,
Yeah. Yeah.
bloom, bloom. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what's the song? I don't know if y'all heard the album, Breezy album.
The purple joint. Is that the right one?
Breezy album, the last album.
I feel like I'm thinking about the one before it.
You talking Indigo?
That's the one with the purple alien
Yeah.
on it or whatever. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah, yeah,
I did hear the newest one, but I didn't listen to it. I didn't
yeah,
like. I didn't. What's the word? Digest it. I listened to it
yeah,
though.
yeah. But Indigo is a good album. I think a lot of these R&B artists these days, like Chris Brown,
Breezy.
they just pushing. Yeah, Breezy. A lot of these new artists, they just pushing songs, too many songs, and like you say, you didn't digest the last album because they pushing out so many songs, and
It's too much.
like I said earlier, it's like quantity over quality. You know,
Because streaming supports quantity.
Oh yeah.
Streaming is a quantity game.
Yeah, and streaming has
You can put out the
ruined.
best album
sound,
in the world, but
Yeah,
if you're an indie artist and you're not signing nobody, your best bet
yeah,
is to release like an album every month.
yeah,
Like that's really your best bet as an indie artist. If you
Yeah.
don't want to like sell out your trunk, the best thing
Yeah.
is for you to release something every month. If you want to make money as an indie artist, like you better put
Yeah.
out something all the time. It don't
Yeah.
matter if you promote it or nothing. Just put something out all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and Steve know about I don't know if you heard the album too, Bobby V Peach Moon.
That's something new.
It's kind of old now, Peach Moon album, but it was like jazzy, like D'Angelo feel, but he released it, but a lot of people didn't, you know,
play
because
on
like
it?
you, I think he played on one or two songs.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like that D'Angelo feel, but you know, of course, people ain't gonna buy it because it has that quality live sound and music. And so, like you said, streaming, you know, you got to push out what people listen to, or you ain't gonna, you ain't gonna sell like you know.
You know who I like? You know who I like? In moderation, I
Yeah.
like Blast.
Oh yeah, Blast.
I like
he
Blast.
got good melodies. Yeah,
I like Blast, man. Like that. I think somebody was saying Usher need to do like an album
collab.
that kind of like with Blast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that'll kind of give us
Yeah.
a little bit of that balance that we probably
Yeah.
need. But Blast is nice.
yeah.
I like him.
And the only thing with these R&B artists these days, and even even some of the veteran artists is kind of getting into it, because they have to have that trap rhythm, and sometimes it get kind of repetitive. Sometimes,
You can't push that. Like you can't really
yeah,
go nowhere with that. And again, if you really gonna tell a dynamic love story or any story, you tell a story about boy meets girl, whatever you got going on, whatever story you trying to tell, it's like there are parts of it.
Yeah.
Every part of it should feel a little bit different.
Yeah.
Nowadays we don't really get the dynamics of it, the different feels.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like one concept, and that's why music is so easily discarded.
Yeah.
It's not really worth nothing.
And then the
Like,
auto tune.
You can't discard, like we was talking about. How did you get here, Deborah Cox? You can't discard that. You can't discard that, bro. You can put it in the closet.
Yeah.
You can't throw it away, dog.
And like Incomplete, like Cisco, he gave so much emotion on Incomplete. And dynamics, using dynamics using dynamics in music.
What does that look like? If you put Incomplete on the R&B whatever they call it, the playlist, the R&B playlist.
Yeah.
If you put it on the playlist right now with all the other cats with Sir and SZA and whatever, like, it's gonna sound crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna sound completely out of place, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like, what does it sound like?
Yeah.
What is well executed 2022 R&B sound like?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think SZA is cool. Like the song SZA had that Pharrell did. It was still a little basic. It was a little basic too.
Yeah.
But Pharrell they did two of them. No, they did the Hit Different.
Hit Different.
They did the SZA joint. What's it called? They did the. Was it
on the first album?
No, was it? Maybe it wasn't the Neptunes that did the SZA joint.
Good Days.
Good Days.
No, they didn't do that one. Okay, it was I forgot his name. It's a guitar player, but he produced that.
Yeah, so that joint was really nice. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like super.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? It didn't like do too much, but it was a really nice. It was a really nice emotional record.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like these days you could just like at least give us some emotion. SZA gave us the emotion. It wasn't so elaborate.
Yeah.
But it was emotional. It felt like I should listen to it more than once.
Yeah, and if you think about like the Bad Boy days, like, they sampled tons of songs, but it was so tasteful though. It was like
musical.
Yeah.
It was musical.
Yeah.
It was still chords. It was samples and chords, bro.
Yeah. Cause they like
song, you must be used to me.
Oh
I feel like that. I don't know if that was a sample, but that song. When I hear that song, I be about to cry, bro. Like, that's a freaky song.
Yeah.
Like that's a nigga song.
Yeah, but church chords.
Like, whoa. That. You can be freaky and be in church.
Yeah.
R. Kelly played those chords.
Oh yeah.
Kelly and what's the name did that? The boy from 112.
Darren.
Yeah, him and R. Kelly did that.
Oh yeah.
So it's like.
Darren from church too.
Bro.
So
of course, like, it's possible. It's possible to have to do that.
Yeah.
We got all the technology. We got all the sounds. We got all the plugins.
Yeah.
We still coming up with stuff that don't really feel like much,
Yeah. Like if I use sound packs, I might add my own bass line, to make it sound musical.
Yeah.
Because like me, I kind of got to fit in with the sound of the day. I still do my progressions, but I may add like little trap hi-hats, now and then. But it kind of bridge the sound, of where I come from and now. So
it's just a tough game to play.
Yeah.
But it's like you gotta make what you make.
Yeah.
And you gotta be able to make what's going on the the playlist. I mean, I guess people do listen to the radio, but the playlist, what's happening with the sound of it is because it's like at some point, how cycles work. At some point, the music is gonna come back.
Yeah,
and it's not really the music that's gone; it's the emotion that's gone. Like you said earlier.
Yeah,
the music is still there.
Yeah, and I think the auto tune has taken away from emotion too. Like even when people like Tyrese, you hear their last few albums, it's emotion, but it ain't that.
Yeah,
it ain't that raw. Like if you listen to Mary J. Blige, if you listen to her old records, you can hear that scratchy, that scratchy tone in her voice.
Let Mary be Mary, dog.
Yeah,
let Keisha be Keisha.
Keisha, yeah.
Just let it happen. Let it happen. That's one of the great. I mean, man, that's one of the greatest R&B songs ever.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. Greg Curtis. Yeah. I say it
Meanwhile, you
is.
got
Well,
people.
yeah. Oh, what
I
you
said,
about to say, Steve?
meanwhile, you got people arguing about who's the king of R&B and all this stuff.
My man
Yeah.
Jacquees, that boy be making some records too, man.
Oh yeah.
He do. He do.
Jacquees is a clown, boy,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I feel like what he's trying to do
Yeah.
is he's trying to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Not doing a great job at it, but he's trying. So you remember,
Yeah.
like Chris Brown said on the what's the show $1,000,000 worth of game,
Yeah.
when he was on
Right.
$1,000,000 worth of game. If y'all seen the clip, I didn't watch the whole
Yeah.
thing, but he
I
said
ain't, yes. Yeah.
it was either that or the Drink Champs. He said the R&B showman is
Yeah.
dead. He
Oh.
specifically used that word. He said the R&B showman that we
Yeah.
used to know is dead. Like he's really
Yeah.
the last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's really the last one that's dancing, that's moving like in the Bobby Brown blueprint, in
Yeah.
the in that vein. But
Yeah.
Jacquees is trying.
Yeah.
Jacquees don't make music like Sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jacquees make music like
Yeah.
how they
Like
used to
them.
make music. He just
Yeah.
don't have a voice.
Yeah.
He just don't
Yeah.
have a voice. People don't trust him to carry the torch.
Yeah.
But he is actually making. He's in that lane. He's in that '90s,
Yeah.
'90s lane.
Right.
Yeah. It's a lot, and like Usher, he needed help and push out an album, since
I don't know what it's like, bro. Like this, the question. Like, should you gotta do it? Usher got a residency in Vegas, right?
yeah,
So it's like
Yeah.
I was talking to this girl about Beyonce.
yeah,
And Beyonce is what, 40 years old?
yeah, around that, yeah,
Her birthday coming up in a couple of days. She'll be like 41 or something like that.
yeah, 40, yeah,
And the question is, like, do we really want music from Usher in 2022? Or my bad. Do we need music from Usher? Do we need music from Beyonce? Like, is
Yeah.
that what we really need? They can do it. They're going to do what they want to do. But I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
can he do it? Like, we heard the song he did with Summer Walker. It's a
yeah,
good song,
yeah,
but it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like Usher he gonna have to really be
yeah,
very calculated. It's just like when Mariah Carey came out with
Yeah.
what's the song? We Belong Together.
oh yeah,
How old was
E-
she when that
yeah.
How old was she when that album came out?
E equals
40
MC,
something?
yeah, 40
No,
something,
that's Emancipation of Mimi.
yeah,
That she was probably like 40-ish
yeah,
when that came out, if not older.
yeah, and Jermaine
And it was
Dupri
a
is,
great album.
yeah, Jermaine Dupri is a master of that though. He know how to keep it simple, and still be
He let her do
musical.
her. He let her
Yeah.
do her.
Yeah,
That's what he said. L.A. Reid called
Yeah.
Jermaine Dupri at the last minute
yeah,
to make Mariah's album, and he ended up doing like 6 records and basically producing the whole album.
yeah,
And he wasn't on it at all.
yeah,
L.A. Reid said, "Look, go down to Atlanta, work with
Yeah.
Jermaine,"
yeah,
and they came back with all of them records, bro.
yeah. I like it's
In
like,
a weekend.
and a lot of people sleep on It's Like That. I like It's Like That too. That's a good track.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
like that, y'all.
Yeah,
That, y'all.
yeah,
It's like Usher needs. I'm not gonna say what he needs because Usher has recreated, revamped
yeah,
3-4 times. So he
Yeah.
got all my respect. He's done it. He did
yeah,
it in 2011. He came
Yeah.
back with the pop. Oh my God! He came back
Yeah.
with the like.
yeah,
He know how to do it.
yeah.
But it's like
yeah,
when you 40,
yeah,
like at that point, it's almost time to hang the jersey up, low key.
yeah,
It's almost
Yeah.
time to like retire the jersey.
yeah,
But see, the thing is, it's not like how it used to be. Like, you got Rolling Stones still performing. You got I guess the Ozzy brothers. You
yeah,
got people that are older, where they still touring. You just not hearing like the music. I mean, but they touring. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you appreciate the old stuff. It's kind of like if Jagged Edge just put out a project like a couple of months ago,
yeah,
and it's like you ain't gonna necessarily hear it unless you find it. See,
Yeah.
we got to go and find the old stuff, unless unless it's being promoted like Tank.
Yeah.
Tank's album been promoted. So the thing is, but they still touring. They making money from their touring as well, not
Yeah.
just
Right.
their But yeah, the
Yeah.
This is
question
the
is, do
thing,
we
which they
still want to?
should. They
Yeah.
should. Usher is
Yeah,
Usher. Like I say, Usher is in Vegas, and
Yeah.
I think that's
right,
dope because I don't know much about Vegas, but when I was growing up, I remember like Celine Dion being in Vegas
Oh yeah.
and a bunch of white folks being in Vegas. So
Yeah.
now we got Usher in Vegas, we got Anita Baker in Vegas, it's some other people. I think Chris Brown might have been out there. It's
Yeah.
some other cats doing Vegas, some black people now. So I
Yeah.
think that's amazing.
Yeah.
But as far as like recording music, unless you prepared to really um, you know, either just make an old quote unquote old school album,
Yeah. Yeah.
then
right,
I just
right,
feel like
right.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
perform.
Yeah. And
Do that.
I think we missing, y'all talking about these artists, these older artists. They had storytelling in they songs. You
Right,
know, like you think about Shirley Murdoch, "As We Lay."
right,
It's like a fair song, but it's a
right.
story.
So,
It's dynamics, it's emotion. you know,
Adele,
Adele, yeah, Adele,
Jasmine
yeah,
Sullivan, pick up the pieces or pick up
but
your
you,
feelings. Like
yeah,
all these
you,
songs, they cut right through the radio, bro.
yeah,
They cut
yeah,
right through the radio, but
yeah,
nobody else is making those songs because you gotta
yeah,
be able to sing.
yeah,
To a
but
certain
see,
extent, you gotta be able to sing.
yeah,
I think too. Not only is the emotion and stuff. I think too people are missing a certain sound that R and
yeah,
B brought. You know what I'm saying? Even with the early 2000s, even though it changed a little bit, it still
yeah,
had a sound that you know what I'm saying? It was an urban like sound.
yeah,
Nowadays you got like a popish,
yeah,
just like gospel music. You hear more contemporary worship songs than a urban gospel. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like the choirs used to sing in
That's what
commission
somebody
and
said. That he said we got way too deep in
yeah,
the CCM bag.
yeah,
oh,
yeah. Who
my
said
man.
that?
That was one of my homies
Oh,
said that. He was like, we got
oh,
way too
yeah,
deep.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Cause
yeah,
you have connect. Cause they now, like, the powers that be, they
yeah,
more appealing to, they putting our R&B as urban R&B or adult R&B,
right,
and so it's like they trying to move this pop because when they do R&B they call it
yeah,
pop, and
right,
so like Backstreet Boys,
right,
that's considered pop. It's not
right,
R&B, even though
right,
I ain't gonna.
yeah,
I admit,
It's
they
pop because they white.
honestly they
yeah.
stole Boys to
I
Men.
mean,
Yes.
right, yeah,
If
yeah,
y'all
Look, let
saw
me tell
this
you
is
what somebody
yeah.
said. Look, my brother's only got this group chat, and he
Yeah.
said something that was like, because it's something that I was probably thinking about, but he said he articulated it, and I was like, damn, you're right. Because I always say like the 2000s was like
Yeah.
that was like the beginning of the end
Yeah.
right,
for music in general. Rap music was really
yeah,
bad. Let me not say it was real bad. It was tainted. It was
Yeah.
right,
tainted. Like we
yeah,
had very pure lyricism,
uh
very
huh,
clear
right,
ideas, and then we got
Yeah.
Nelly. Nelly was terrible.
Yeah.
We got Ashanti, like good records, but terrible. And you can
Yeah.
tell when people are terrible because once they wave is over,
uh
they're
Yeah.
huh,
over.
Yeah. Yeah.
once
You're right.
Ashanti's wave was over,
Yeah.
she
yeah,
was over. So
Washed
we had
out.
Ja
Yeah.
Rule. Ja Rule was okay, but
Yeah.
we just got a lot of mediocre. Ja
Jaheim.
Rule, ja Rule was really a part of.
no, he was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jaheim was a beast. But I
Yeah.
think
I mess with you.
Ja Rule's first album came out in '99.
You know,
So Ja Rule was like at the beginning. I mean, the beginning and the end of the '90s,
Yeah.
and he sounds like it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's why it
Yeah.
was. What he had to go do them songs that he did.
Yeah.
Ja Rule
Yeah.
wasn't making no rap songs after he did Penny Vinny Vici. After
Yeah.
that, it was all J Lo, Ashanti,
Yeah.
and Lil Mo. So
Yeah.
what he said was, this is a theory. The powers that be that you mentioned
right,
are really, whether they know it or not, they probably do, pushing us to a place of like mediocrity.
Yeah.
Because bro, like that's not our natural state.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
natural state is not mediocrity. So when Nas is coming up, streets disciple, my raps to track, I should there's in your brain just like when we get away from that, and then we start getting every little thing that we do. Then we get to it's getting harder, and it just gets worse and worse because the white folks, I love my white brothers and whatever, but the white folks, bro, that's not their natural state. That's not their natural thing.
Oh,
so
they love that. They love those songs. I said, but I tell you one thing, they be playing those songs at the parties and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we're getting closer and closer to making music that everybody can make.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like and that's the problem. When Nas was rapping, bro, you couldn't just do that.
Yeah.
You couldn't just like, I'm about to go make a Nas record in the studio. Because you can't make a Nas record without Nas.
Yeah. Right.
Now
you can't make a J record without Nas. So we had look at the what's the boy name? Clive Davis. His first artist was Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
Janis Joplin is garbage, bro. Like Janis Joplin is a complete mess of an artist.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, anybody can go in the studio and yell and scream, and people banging on drums and sounding crazy. But we're getting closer and closer to make like they had the digital artist. The digital artist yesterday. The whatever.
The rapper.
Yeah. The rapper. That was a white dude.
Yeah.
How can he do that? Because anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody can be these people. Anybody can be Nas. You couldn't fake and be married. Like we're getting closer and closer to something that you can fake, and we need to get back to like doing what we do best. But that's not profitable. That's not cool. Yeah, we gotta do what we do best, bro. Because you can't copy. They can't copy it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's what it was, because like I said, that's why you can separate an artist. Even if you take somebody like Keith Sweat, he may not have sound the best, but the emotion that he look, you knew it was Keith Sweat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the music.
You know the music. You know who that artist was. They couldn't sound like anybody.
Yeah,
you
like Bobby Brown, he wasn't the best singer, but he had the best producers,
Right.
Yeah. Locked in with them.
But it was the emotions too. He was Bobby Brown while using those emotions. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so like Marcus Houston, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You mean, you just take different people, man, like they were themselves. They was encouraged to be themselves, but yet still be real with that emotion about what, you know what I'm saying, they was doing. It wasn't so much about, okay, we gotta go against this person and that person. But even if they did that, they still focused on
the emotion.
Yeah. That's why, like, with the verses, you know what I'm saying, they were focused more so on the hype of the audience and them being cheered than the focus on the song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that speak for itself, and then the audience can be the judge. But even the audience know, oh, dang, they didn't sound, Mario carried it.
Yeah.
He killed it. Because he sound just like the record, if not better.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he focused on the heart of the music.
Yeah.
And the emotions he did.
Yeah.
Everything else was like entertainment.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all heard the news already. Sam and Ray J, they not getting along.
Oh Lord!
Already, they not getting along. So we don't know the future.
We knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, cause you know Ray J, he want to be like Tyrese.
And I know.
How you gonna do that?
Yeah. So what y'all think about the future of R&B groups?
Day 26 coming back, so there's hope.
Yeah.
Too.
That's good. They coming back. Who Diddy is on it? They on Bad Boy?
Nah, I don't know. No.
They coming back with the same people.
Same group.
Yeah, the same people. Yeah. They just big now. Q is chubby now. So
Q is the light skinned cat.
Yeah, the real light skin, always whining and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then my
yeah,
man's from Detroit, Rob. Rob was a
yeah,
beast.
Yeah.
yeah,
Rob was
yeah,
probably the best singer.
yeah. I think Mike was good too. Mike.
Brian
Mike played his
Brian was
role.
good too.
Yeah.
Who was
Brown
Brian?
kind of whine too much though, with the
Who was Brian?
cornrows.
Oh, Brian with the
Yeah.
braids. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
they had some cats. I mean,
Yeah.
R&B groups. I'm trying to see like
112 is like one now.
you said what?
112 is
112 is
like
11.
one. Yeah,
11 or 12.
they don't got the church folks in their group.
Yeah.
No,
They
no
got
more.
a concert. They got a concert
Yeah.
coming up in Atlanta on the first, on September 1st with Monica.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken,
I mean-
Monica 112 and maybe
like
Drew
even-
Hill.
Yeah, like even auto tune messed up Monica's voice. Like
Wow.
she don't have that. Well, I wouldn't say that, but her voice has changed. You know, over
Everybody.
the years.
She's old,
Yeah.
bro. It's like these people, like Monica
No.
is what? Monica 40? She probably 42.
No, but cause look, you got Patti LaBelle that's still singing,
Yeah.
and no,
She
Monica
still
got her. Yeah, still singing.
But Monica
you gotta-
Monica is not and never has been Patti LaBelle.
No, but
Like, never
no.
has been.
No, but I'm saying like Brandy, for example. How you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Brandy still is gotten better. Like
Yeah.
yeah, Brandy's gotten better.
Brandy's an artist. She's an
Yeah.
artist.
But
Yeah.
Monica,
I don't think Brandy has the best voice ever, but she cares about it. She's an artist.
Yeah.
but Monica though. What I'm saying with Monica is this: is Monica's voice. When you hear Monica, you know like her old stuff. But Monica is caught up in that and trying to, you know what I'm saying, with the auto tune and all that stuff. But see,
Yeah.
that's just probably from the producers that's just trying to help her. But if she stay focused on what she normally do,
Yeah.
then that's, you know what I'm saying, she gonna always sound like Monica. You know what I'm
You
saying?
don't need help. Like sometimes you just gotta let things be.
Yeah.
You know, let Monica, like I said earlier, let Mary be Mary. Let Monica
Yeah.
be Monica, because what you're
And-
doing is you cleaning up something that
Yeah.
ain't dirty.
And that's the thing, they chasing streaming, like you said earlier, they chasing that, and so they gonna try to do
And-
songs that's relevant, you know.
And Mary does her best songs when she's going through stuff. Mary, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, in the beginning, you know, Diddy didn't even know what to do with Mary J. Blige until like they start putting her on hip hop record beats. You know what I'm saying? That's when she became the queen of the hip hop queen. You know what I'm saying?
Genius.
So,
Yeah.
you know, right. So it's like that's what makes her Mary and separates her from the rest.
Yeah.
And yet she still, her songs is see, one thing about Mary, she knows what's good for her, and she keeps her music relevant, but it's still Mary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what I love. She ain't like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She can do
People
a slow, yeah.
people sleep on Faith too. Faith.
Oh,
Didn't she drop something?
I don't know if she dropped it recently. I don't know. I'm not sure.
you want to know why people sleep on Faith so much? Because they try to include Faith's life into other than her music.
Yeah.
They always talking about the situation with her and Tupac.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that Faith can come from the church.
Yeah.
Faith is an incredible singer. You know what I'm saying, like that. But they take that life of Faith and they focus more on that than her music sometimes. Hate to say.
Yeah, I don't see no new Faith albums. But yeah, no, it's like 2014.
You said you don't see no Faith. You know she
I don't see it.
You know she got some where she did a tribute to her
her
Biggie.
in 2017.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear that though, but I'm gonna listen to it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like the future, like the streaming.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I did a whole speech on this one time. Like the streaming, in my opinion,
Streaming is awful.
It hurt.
That's awesome.
Here's the thing. I was in the studio with a young dude like years ago. He was like 18, 19. He's a rapper. He doing his thing, you know. And he was like, "Man, I want to do a million streams, man. I ain't trying to sell no records. I'm just trying to stream." I was like, "Okay, I mean, I ain't your daddy, bro." Like, he was just in the studio. Like I wasn't working with him. He was just in the studio kicking it. And I was just like, "Dang, like the youth is messed up." And what it does is, streaming, again hurts Black culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not mistaken, They said Taylor Swift moved like 250,000 physical units on her last album or something. Like, Taylor Swift moved some physicals, bro, like some real CDs. So the streaming thing and putting that into our head as what the dude from Spotify basically said, just make more music. Y'all worried about not making enough. Y'all worried about not getting enough money. Just make more music. A nigga that don't know nothing about music.
Yeah, you be better off selling
our culture.
You be better off selling physical albums than streams.
You should do both. You should do both. I think I talked to my brother about this yesterday. The benefits of streaming is 24
exposure.
Hours. Yeah, it's 24-hour radio.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, on the radio, your music is only gonna play at certain times.
Yeah,
you know. Then you go into the old school records. Then you go into the underground records. Streaming is 24-hour radio. So you want to be in people's heads 24 hours if possible. Without a radio budget. You're doing it without a radio budget. So I think you should sell CDs to make your money and also be streaming. But streaming is gonna hurt the black artists. When we look back 20 years later, I think it's gonna hurt the black artists. More than any other art. Anything dealing with music is gonna hurt us more.
Because you know, like me, I wrote a song for an artist, and they got a million streams, but you know, you only got a few. You only got a few percentage. You know, if you got a percentage, and so you know, you make a million streams, but it still ain't a lot because
let's say it was $5,000.
Could be like .001. Yeah,
if you made $5,000 and you hopefully maybe you have 50%. You got $2,500.
Yeah,
which I ain't mad at $2,500, but
yeah,
it ain't like, oh my god, like my cousin had an artist he was working with.
Yeah,
they made $70,000 off an album. Because they went and sold it. They sold it in Detroit. They sold it in Cleveland. They went to Chicago. They went to Ohio. They went all around. Yeah, they made like $70,000. Wow. They split it, and my man's went and bought a house. Wow. Because you know, in Detroit, you got a lot of cheap real estate. He bought a house for $35,000 off his album.
Was that off of physical? That's off of physical.
Physical.
Oh, yeah.
That means
I figured. Yeah.
They have physical, so they might sell. I might sell you a CD for 10. I might sell Steve a CD for 5.
Yeah.
I might sell somebody else one for 7. Whatever you pay.
Yeah.
Just don't give me less than 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't take less than 5. But they went all over, and over the course of I think maybe a year, maybe 2 years, they made $70,000, bro.
Because streaming,
most indie artists ain't making $70,000.
Yeah, because the streaming is like one stream is like .01, and then if you only get 25% that, you ain't hardly getting anything for each stream. So
you're not getting much. It's just the music is. See, people. We in an era of popularity.
Yeah.
So if you stream and people are listening, like it's a positive to it.
Yeah.
Your music can be heard by more
exposure.
People.
Yeah.
Your exposure is greater, but the people like Drake is still gonna get the money while it's up here. Drake Drake already cut his check.
Yeah.
They already cut Drake check at the top.
Up front.
And then just the same thing with BMI.
Yeah.
Same, by the time it get down here and they start pressing them calculators for your money.
Cause I look at my royalty, it ain't, you know, because you know it's not on the top. Yeah, because it's not on the top Billboard charts or anything.
They cut them Drake checks, they cut them Beyonce checks, them Dua Lipa checks, and the baby and a little baby, and then the further you get down, like. But they getting the labels. The labels getting their money up front.
Yeah.
Just imagine you look at it. You talk about the labels are dead. Yeah. And this is dead and all this, but the labels cut the deal up front.
Yeah.
They got their money and put their kids through college up front.
Like the only way you can survive now, you have to become a brand. That's the only way.
You gotta be like Beyonce, bro. It's not about music. It's about the product.
Yeah.
Right.
She's selling T-shirts and books and tour guides and I don't
Yeah.
know what she vinyls. Like
Yeah.
it's not about the music. The music is just a product, just like a T-shirt. The music is a T-shirt.
But she was smart in the direction she went, with the album because she appealing to the alphabet community. She's appealing to the UK, you know,
And,
and
and
she,
she,
the house music and all that stuff.
But that's what
Afrobeat.
happens.
Yeah.
Look what Whitney Houston did.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston
and
got
she,
there too. That's where you. I mean,
Yeah.
what do
Yeah.
you do
Yeah.
after you've done everything?
Yeah.
and
Like,
she,
what can you do?
Yeah.
and she took. Remember what was that one she did?
I'm every
The
woman.
that no, what's the album before this one, the one Beyonce did, and
Uh.
had her own crew record it, and she sold it to Netflix, and they bought it.
Oh,
Oh,
Homecoming.
Coachella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Homecoming.
she
Yeah.
did. That's I mean, what? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Beyonce is the queen of product, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think she's the queen of R&B or the queen of pop. She's the queen of product.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She's
And
the
so
queen of experience.
Yeah. And so where y'all feel, the state of R&B is now, people saying it's dead, it's not. Where y'all think?
Um,
I'll defer for now.
I'm sorry, it's distract.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, that was good. Sorry that walk past. Oh, I try to think. I'll put these sunglasses on. No, but man, I don't know, man. I think what it is we have to be direct about where we're trying to bring it, because when we say R&B, are we talking about 90s R&B? Are we talking about early 2000s? Because you know what I'm saying. Yes, we're talking about the emotion and the love, but that era was centered around that, because you're talking about the people like we talked about, like the Anita Baker, you know what I'm saying, Boys to Men, Mariah Carey, Brahman, all these people. So it's like, where are we trying to? Because with the emotion and the love was a certain sound. Remember, it was an urban sound.
Yeah.
So the thing is that there's still songs that have emotions, but may not be urban. It may not be as what we heard it. So
Yeah.
because like you said, trap music wasn't in that.
Yeah.
Now, like with Tank, he's only showing you that, hey, look, yeah, I'm trying to connect with y'all, but I'm trying to get y'all to connect back to what I normally do. I'm just
Yeah.
making it current so you can appreciate it, because you may not appreciate the foundation of what it was before trap music. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because their trap music has a certain sound. Whereas
Yeah.
Tank's sound, I have a certain sound that was, in that early 2000s, but
Yeah.
much more. I know, man, it's tough because
Yeah.
we have to be more responsible into educating and to getting, because see, they're trying to get it by sampling,
Yeah.
even though they may look at it like, oh, yo, because they realize that, damn, this song was popular. Like this
Yeah.
girl, she was telling me, she's like, dang, I listen to 90s because of my parents. And then
Yeah.
I start playing it on Pandora. So they're trying to grasp it, but they need more direction into, like, okay, what, who's behind it? You know what I'm saying? What they love it, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's also influence too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
that makes sense.
So where you feel, Jerry?
Yeah, I think I think it's dead. I think it's dead. Like just based like I say, just based on being in the studio. So this is what I mean. Like you can make you make R&B,
Yeah.
and people don't respect it. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is just like at this point, you know what I'm saying? At this point, it's not as original. Let me say original R&B,
Yeah.
original music that's based on themes of love, themes of heartbreak.
Yeah.
What am I looking for? Variety. You know what I'm saying? Like we had some people like Luther Vandross who who's the person who only does ballads? Luther does a lot of ballads, but like who's somebody who only does ballads?
Jaheim.
Hey,
I mess with you.
This rag on Jaheim Day. But like you know what I'm saying? Like the variety, that I associate with R&B is dead. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard too much indication that it's not, the value is not there. And when you try to make some R&B stuff, people be like, "What?" They just want to sample. It's quick. It's fast food. It's microwave.
Yeah.
And R&B, to my knowledge, again, everything has to evolve. But I feel like music is music.
Yeah.
I feel like in the church, we still got an organist, we still got a drummer, we still got a bass player, we still got. When they're not playing tracks in the church, in the good churches. So as long as that's still the case, I feel like that should be what people should lean on.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not what's going on. So I do think that it is currently in a state of oppression. it's oppressed.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I would say is that I feel like it's still alive just because it's around. It's just that you got to go and look for it. Like, and then from the artists that we grew up listening to, like let's take our Music Soul Child for example. He came out with an album. Yeah. He has some trap music in it, but a lot of his songs was like, you know what I'm saying? It's R&B. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, you know, but what I'm trying to say is this. Let me ask y'all this. R&B is married to hip hop, right?
Yeah.
So
R&B
remember when it's married to hip hop.
Okay.
So when Nas came out with that album, Hip Hop is Dead, people were talking about, oh snap, is hip hop dead or whatever like that. So let me ask y'all something. Is hip hop dead since that album came out? Because
no.
You have to. Okay, so if somebody came out with an album,
hip hop is not dead because niggas are still people are still rapping, but hip hop is dead in the same way that R&B is dead because the skill level is not there. It's like you can't have R&B. It's hard to have R&B without voices.
So Jared's like from a standpoint. So you from a standpoint is like because the skill set is not as high. You know, the standard is not as high.
The standards, the requirements.
You feel like they're both dead. You know, hip hop
like
and
everything is going like this, and
it's becoming dumbed down. Yeah.
And as long as it's dumbed down, it's like music always been simple. Popular music always been quote unquote simple, but it wasn't always easy.
Yeah.
You feel me? Not easy, but simple.
Yeah.
Now, if you take something like country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Country still even when they add some changes, they still got a certain formula.
Yeah.
Where
I was gonna get to that too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna still last.
Yeah. You know why?
What's that?
Because they
hold each other accountable.
Because they gatekeeping.
Yeah.
We're not. We never do.
That's a good one.
Black people, it don't matter if you dark child, if you Timberland, everybody just ride the wave.
Yeah.
We operate from a position of scarcity, a scarcity mindset. So, country is like, this is country. This is country. Like the girl I was working with, she said, in order to be in a country world in Nashville, you got to write 100 country records. So when they meet you, they basically like, did you write your 100 records yet? And if you like, nah, bye. They gatekeep. We don't gatekeep, bro. We let whatever happens, you know.
But do you think also that has to do with us maybe not getting along with each other? Like far as the competition,
it always comes back to our non-musical culture. It all comes back to how we live and operate. But country, like I say, we operate like with scraps.
But
Dark Child is people sampling Dark Child. He's still making music.
Yeah.
Right.
He's still able to make music. He's still a very talented guy. Brian Michael Cox, we still got these names in our head. They still got social media presences and all that, but they're embracing the young people. And by embracing the young people, it's like it doesn't really work. Like Timbo is embracing the young people, and it's cool, but it doesn't lead to us having good music.
But the thing I hate is, you know, when Adele or Bruno Mars, they sing these, you know, Bruno Mars saying like New Jack Swing style, and it's cool. But when a black artist, and Tank was arguing about this as well.
Oh, Sam Smith.
If Tank saying a Sam Smith song, it don't sell as much. But it goes back what Jared says. We're not gatekeepers of keeping our sound, within the black.
We don't own our sound.
Oh,
we don't own it. We don't own it. So it's like I want us to gatekeep, but I understand why we don't, because we don't own it. We just go with whatever's hot. We just trying to stay in the building. Usher just trying to stay in the building. Usher probably worth $100 million, and he's still trying to just stay in the building.
And in other words, we haven't created our own gatekeeper. Yeah, we just allow somebody to lead us.
We ain't we don't have our own community. Everything in black culture is dictated by kids. The other cultures are not like that. The other cultures look to the grandparents.
Yeah.
Indians and Arabs, they be reading the old books and looking to the grandparents.
Cause we the only culture that we appreciate the old culture, but we don't still gravitate to it. Like,
but
everybody want to be young. Chinese people, bro, they be looking at the grandparents. Yeah. They look at the grandparents. Hey, grandma, tell me a story.
Yeah.
Hey, grandma, who's 96 years old and still alive because they eat rice all the time. Tell me a story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we looking at the young kids. We trying to still stay young. And that is just that's a black thing, bro. And it messes us up generation after generation after generation, because we're looking into the kids. And I think the kids we need to make the kids look to us. But then again, like, you got to have families for that. You got to have a family to look at. You got to have a grandma and uncles and aunts. You can't have R&B without families, bro.
Yeah.
Families was popping in the 90s. Families was popping in the 70s.
Yeah.
Those the best eras of music for black people was the 70s and the 90s. And in both of those eras, coming out of the crack era, families started coming back. In the 70s, black families was at an all-time high.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to have R&B without marriage families.
But it goes back to, you know what I'm saying, when they're not there, who's teaching us? And that's when you got the social media, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, even with this fast culture thing, like we were talking about earlier and stuff like that, because this generation has this low tolerance of things, it has sprinkled into music as well as everything else. Yeah. So, if we're influenced by it, it's going to take somebody and say, hey, look, we're going to go with our time. We're not going to, like, rush with the time of the world. Until we get out of that influence and out of that box, then we're always going to be influenced and keeping up with the Jones.
Yeah.
Learn how to play an instrument and then do what you want to do. That's my thought process. Like, and everybody don't have access, so I don't I don't want to sound bougie and shit, because like I told somebody else, you can learn how to play an instrument in church. You can learn at school. They got pianos all over the world. People giving them away. So my thing is, start with music. You know what I'm saying? Start with some music. You don't have to be a musician to have ideas, but it's like if you want to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a doctor, you might have been dissecting pig hearts and playing with animals when you was a kid, and you was like, I want to be a doctor. In order to be a doctor, you still had to go to school and take biology class. And there was still some formalization of the stuff that you already showed some interest in. So if you're a musician and you want to be a producer, learn something. If you're 15 years old, I know you got some ideas in your head that I might not have in mind. Yeah. So here's the formal education, so you can get those ideas out. You don't have to make music like me. I'm not trying to make the 15-year-olds make 90s music. But formalize what y'all got going on. That's how I feel, like formalize. Like, but if music is so tied into us, when kids stop playing bass, when kids stop playing piano, we got nothing.
Well, I think the main thing is being original. Like this day and time, everybody just sampling, You know,
We're gonna sample out. It's just like when you cut paper in half. When
yeah.
you keep cutting the paper in half,
So
eventually the paper
yeah.
gonna be nothing.
Right.
It's gonna be
You know,
microscopic.
so all these producers is doing now just copy and paste. You know,
Right.
like you know, I ain't gonna lie.
Because
I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, I do that now sometimes. You know,
We
just
all got. We
copy and
got
paste.
to.
see,
Yeah,
We all
yeah,
got
but
to, bro.
see,
yeah,
because what it is that they're looking at something that has been validated. And
yeah,
so they're trying to get validation. So they figure, you know what?
Hmm.
If I can emulate this, then
yeah,
I can be validated like they are. That'll give me a step ahead than me just being myself and doing the things I want. Now, people are always influenced by somebody, but they took everything and they made it their own. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Hmm.
They didn't like that's why, like we said, the singers and stuff, they were different. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't sound like somebody during those days. But now,
yeah,
just like rapping, you know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
don't know who's who.
yeah,
But
Hmm.
you're
yeah,
right.
The beats
Originality.
differentiated, if nothing else. Like Nas and Mobb Deep might have
yeah,
similar sounds because they from the same place, but they got different beats,
Yeah.
yeah,
different
And Nas didn't
stories.
have the best beats.
yeah,
Yeah,
And Nas
no,
didn't have the best beats,
that's
but
not
he
his
yeah,
shit
strength.
still
Yeah, that's
worked
not his
out for
strength.
him.
yeah,
That's not his
yeah,
strength. But he's a storyteller
He's
yeah,
a
first and
storyteller.
foremost. Nas
Facts.
can Nas can rap without a beat.
yeah,
Facts.
yeah, yeah,
He can rap
No,
without a
no,
beat.
facts.
I
Right.
told somebody last night, like when I listen to Nas,
Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm listening to a grown up. I feel like I'm listening to a
Uh-huh.
grown man,
yeah,
and that's
Right.
why rap music it don't be really doing nothing for me now because
Uh-huh.
it's
yeah,
only so much y'all can just keep doing the
yeah,
same thing without
Yeah.
challenging, like
yeah,
challenging
Right.
my
yeah,
brain. I feel like
yeah,
that's the
Right.
evolution of rap. You go from being bottles and jewelry
yeah,
to this is what I'm reading right now to man,
yeah.
what's going
See.
on with the world? If
Now
only
you
we
know.
had studied this, like
Yeah.
you got to grow up as a man to
Now
be
they just
better.
now they just mumble, so you don't know what they're saying anyway. So
Man, like I like not to bring up Lil Baby on the moment shit. I like Lil Baby. I think he's a rapper that's evolving, and I
yeah,
respect that.
yeah,
The Lil Baby I heard
See.
5 years ago is not the Lil Baby that I'm hearing. I heard him talking about I'm not dating strippers no more. I'm dating nurses and doctors. What,
Mm.
bro? That's a bar.
yeah,
Like
Right.
it's 2022.
Yeah.
He said we ain't dating strippers and bottle girls no more. I'm dating nurses
Yeah.
and doctors. I was like,
yeah,
oh, that's what we need.
yeah,
But see,
That's
we
what we
the
need, from
but the
him.
right. But see, the thing is that we just need more of it. You know what I'm
We
yeah,
saying?
need more
It's
of it,
like
but I love it. I love it coming from him for sure.
yeah,
you know, I mean,
I
and it's
love
going
it.
to get there eventually because what it is, people kind of getting tired of hearing the same thing. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
And
they're
that's
like saying like, yeah,
yeah, and that's why I kind of like I do like 21 Savage because he still has some balls, you know, but he's catchy at the same time.
hmm
Like I
He's really
feel like
smart.
Lil Baby sometimes his auto tune is kind of it kind of get annoying. I ain't gonna like get kind of annoying after a while.
Mhm.
And
hmm
in
Like I said, definitely.
21,
I can't listen to it all day, but
yeah,
I like his evolution. If you listen to his
yeah,
bars, I'm like, okay,
yeah,
this cat
yeah,
is taking his money
yeah,
and actually
yeah,
evolving as a person and looking at the world in a different way.
hmm
And
yeah,
I think
right,
that's what people need, man. Y'all get all this money, y'all get all this
yeah,
TikTok money, man. Go experience the world. Go see, like, go to Africa, man. Go to Europe. Go see what's
yeah,
going on, so you
yeah,
can add it to your music. Like the
yeah,
Africans doing what we doing over here,
yeah,
right,
but
yeah,
that's backwards. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's backwards. They stealing. They stealing.
yeah,
They trying to be like the Pop Smoke. The
yeah.
cats in
oh yeah,
Ghana. In
Oh
Ghana,
yeah,
they making music like Pop Smoke. I forgot what the name of the. It's a city in Ghana.
oh yeah,
They making
and
music like Pop Smoke, like intentionally
mm,
yeah,
intentionally making drill
yeah,
music that's intentionally like American music. Like that's their whole thing. They dressing like us.
yeah,
Their whole voices, their beats, and everything. And I just feel like we always needed some
let me
evolution, man. Kids need to
let,
go on some more trips and all that. Like
let
go
me
experience some
can
other things.
yeah,
let me ask y'all a question.
Go ahead, bro.
With the artists that passed away, like like you got your Biggie, Michael Jackson, Whitney, if they were still here right now, do you think they would convert to this sound of trap music, or you
mm.
know,
I think like the R&B artists like Whitney and Luther, I don't think they would convert. They might change. They might change the musical sonically a little bit, but I think vocally they'll stay the same. Like if you look at Luther in the early '90s versus Luther like 2000s, it's like the music changed a little bit. Like the song "Take You Out," you know, it's still musical. It has bridges.
But it wasn't House Is Not a Home.
Yeah. It wasn't the same.
Right. Yeah, it's a fact.
It wasn't House Is Not a Home, bro.
Anyone that has a heart.
Yeah, and I think
just okay.
But I think Biggie would keep the same style, but his music would sound different now.
Or Tupac.
Look at anybody from that time period. I mean that can almost answer the question.
But the thing about Biggie, Biggie like was ahead of his time though. So you know, Jay-Z, you know, like you said, Jay-Z, he still had the same style, but he talks about a different thing now because he has money now.
I was just telling somebody that was like, this is the thing that drives me crazy about music, which is why I enjoy these kind of conversations. But at the same time, like a Jay-Z, we give a lot of credit to Jay-Z, and I think he does some great things. But at the end of the day, I guarantee if you listen to Jay-Z's last rap verse, whatever it was, I guarantee it's about drugs. I guarantee it got something to do with drugs. And this is when Jay-Z first album came out, what, 20 years, 30 years, 25 years ago?
Yeah, 96,
96, what's that, 16 years ago? No, that's 26.
26, yeah.
30 years ago.
R or something?
Yeah, Reasonable Doubt.
Almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And you still rapping about the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You gave us some different bars. Don't get me wrong. Like you gave us some different bars.
Yeah.
But at the same time, your most recent what is Drug Dealers Anonymous?
Yeah.
Did with Meek Mill in 2017.
Yeah.
Wow.
The song's called Drug Dealers Anonymous, bro. And you're 50.
Yeah.
so I think that's again we defer to the children. Jay-Z is 50 and he's deferring to Meek Mill, who is 30 or 20, whatever, however old he is.
Yeah.
Because Kingdom Come, you know, he took a different approach or whatever like that. He was more on something like, maturing.
Yeah, 444. Yeah.
No, he's definitely done it. But I say I'm saying Jay-Z is like 55 right now.
Yeah.
His most recent bars are still about drugs in some kind of way. Even if it's kind of about a reformed drug dealer or something like that, it's like, bro, there's got to be something else.
I mean, if it's drugs,
it don't seem like we evolve. It took Jay-Z 13 albums to make 444.
Yeah. So do y'all think
Nas made Life Is Good 10 years ago or 15 years ago?
Yes. So do y'all think artists like Beyoncé are ever going to go back to albums where they do strictly R&B, like traditional R&B, or you think they still going to evolve with the times?
I think when she gets older, like something like of an Patti LaBelle age.
Yeah. Because she might just sing her old songs then.
Probably. So do a live CD. Live from Paris.
Does Beyonce have an R&B album now?
No.
Well, B-Day.
But the first B-Day was kind of pop.
The first album was kind of like R&B.
Yeah, R&B. Dangerously in Love was R&B.
And then 4 was like a traditional pop R&B Whitney Houston kind of thing.
She did Closer.
Yeah, on the first album.
That was on the first album, right?
Yeah.
The first album was like an R&B album. It was like coming off the Destiny's Child. Actually, it was before the last Destiny's Child album, right?
Yeah.
Which was a banger.
Yeah.
It was a banger of an album. That
Sean Garrett.
Album.
Yeah.
That album was probably better than Dangerously in Love.
And I would listen to that album, the song Bad Habit with Kelly Rowland sung most of that song on Destiny Fulfilled album. But it's I just don't like, when Kelly Rowland leads a song, it's like Beyonce's vocal is nowhere to be found. but with,
I never
with
even thought
Beyonce,
about that.
But she gave her some ideas and probably told her, "Hey, sing it like this and all
yeah,
that."
yeah, yeah,
I never thought about that.
yeah.
I was
But when
just
I
listening to it this weekend, bro. I was listening to that album on the way to New Orleans this weekend.
yeah, cause the song B Cox and Kendrick Dean, they co-produce
Yeah.
all the time, and
Right,
they
right, right.
did bad habit for
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and so
I was like, it's definitely a B Cox
Kelleher,
joint.
yeah,
That's a good. That's a really good album. If
yeah,
T-shirt,
girl,
um,
yeah,
girl,
cater to
Yeah.
you, cater to you,
Cater to
Hated to
You.
you.
What's the first song on the album? Hit
lose
Look,
my
Hit it,
breath,
Hit it,
yeah,
Lose My- That's
yeah,
a banger.
That was
and people
That's a
don't
great.
good
know,
album.
and people don't know Sean Garrett wrote Girl and
He wrote a
produced
lot of
by
that.
Ninth
He
Wonder,
But
did
yeah,
Lose My Breath.
Soldier, yeah, he wrote that,
Yeah, I didn't. I like the other Soldier with Lil Wayne on it, but I think
yeah,
he's on. I think they on. They got
Lil Wayne and
two versions.
Ti.
Lil
yeah,
Wayne and Ti.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, it's like Beyonce ain't really, in my opinion, got no
R&B album,
R and
yeah,
B albums. Destiny's Child got R and B albums.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But Writings on the Wall
yeah,
is just straight R&B. You
yeah,
know, I think Beyonce
So
has been a pop star
popping.
for a long time, so I wouldn't expect that from her.
yeah, yeah,
I wouldn't expect that from her. I would expect that from Mary, but I wouldn't
yeah,
expect that.
Well,
I think
what's
Mary
that?
still got room to give us another R&B
Me,
album.
yeah,
myself, and I was a banger.
yeah, I love that,
What's that?
yeah,
That's on the second or the first album too, right?
Was it
yeah,
Beat It?
first album, that's the first album,
That's on the first album too.
yeah, Scott Storch did most of that
Got
album, yeah,
Storch, yep.
yeah,
Like you hear that on the 95.7 R&B
yeah, but
station.
That's a good
look
one.
up Robert Waller. He wrote Me, Myself, and I, and
Wow.
Really?
Cater to You. Yeah, he wrote those songs.
You
He's a
okay to
rapper.
you?
Yeah, he's a rapper, but he wrote a lot of songs on her first two albums.
That
Wow.
name sounds so. I'm sure I've seen the name before, but that name sounds
Yeah,
super familiar.
yeah, his pen is
Dang.
crazy. Yeah, me,
Like,
my,
I
yeah,
mean, I'm saying that's what I don't know what to expect
yeah,
of a Beyonce. Like I said, I think it's
yeah,
product over music at this
yeah,
point, which might be
yeah,
the way of
yeah,
things. But that again, that hurts. I think that hurts our culture.
yeah,
What's
Maybe it might make
yeah,
us better. It might just give us more money. But I
yeah,
don't know if money is always what
she
is. Money ain't everything, you know.
yeah,
her R&B stuff mostly comes from her central songs.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
what's the one she did? It got that D'Angelo type feel to it.
Rocket,
Yeah,
Rocket.
that.
Yeah,
hmm
That's on
Like
what B on Beyonce,
yeah, Beyonce
yeah,
album. Yeah,
the Pink
yeah,
album, Pink and Black album.
yeah. So
What?
y'all, it's kind of sad though because a lot of us we looking for that 90s sound, but at the
right.
same time if somebody put out a whole 90s album we don't support. So that's the
I don't think that's it. Like I said, I think you got to learn how to make music
Well,
and
yeah,
then do it your way.
but
Like
yeah,
see,
learn
thi-
chords and then do it your way.
but
yeah,
see, this is what's gonna make people more appreciate it is when you stop looking at how many people's not looking at it. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Because you got mainstream throwing everything what the masses like. Here, this is what we want you to hear. And so as
yeah,
long as we hearing it, if it's on the radio, oh, okay, cool, we listening to
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But if it's not popular and it's not on the radio, you know what I'm saying? Am
yeah,
I going to still listen to it?
yeah. But the thing with country, it's like they got the same formula since forever, and they support like they sell. Look at Lady Antebellum,
Bro,
all
it's
them
not
artists.
their culture is not rooted in coolness though.
Right.
Yeah,
Their culture is not rooted in coolness. Their foundation is storytelling, and they wear Wrangler
Storytelling.
jeans.
yeah,
They wear
yeah,
Wrangler jeans and drive dirty pickups.
yeah,
Like their
yeah,
R&B still got it. R&B has always been cool.
yeah,
Right.
R&B was never. I mean, at some point, but it's never just been. I'm just wearing whatever. I'm going
yeah,
to sing to my girl on the stoop. Like, no, I'm still getting fly.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
getting fly to go sing outside her window.
yeah.
It's
They can,
But
R&B
then,
is still fly.
yeah, yeah,
but But then when you have but then it became more cooler when you had people like Jodeci, Jagged Edge. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They like, you know what? I could be cool and be in the streets
Yep.
and
yeah,
still like be
I don't have
romantic.
to wear a suit.
yeah,
Right,
I don't have to be
exactly.
Freddie Jackson. And
yeah.
Yeah.
what's the deal? Oh, dun dun
Uh,
dun dun dun.
Uh, uh,
Oh, Dennis Edwards. I ain't
oh
got to be
yeah,
Dennis Edwards and wear a tuxedo to try to
yeah,
yeah.
bag a chick. So Jodeci really did.
yeah,
They really helped.
yeah, yeah,
Same thing with
yeah,
Total and them. Like I don't have to wear a dress
Right.
yeah.
or a little. I can just be out here and be cool.
But they
Total was that group too.
And
Total.
they
Escape,
and
Escape too.
Yes,
you know
Escape
escape.
really took it
you
farther
know
too. Further.
and, and speaking of Total, can you imagine Total, Faith Evans and Mary J. Blige actually having a full album
Mm. You talking together?
together?
Oh, yeah,
When
yeah,
they
that'd be
did the
dope.
Biggie One More Chance, when they
Oh
harmonized
yeah,
together, I was
oh
like,
yeah,
what?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my god!
We
And that's
need it,
that was
dog. We just need somebody
yeah,
that's different. Like you don't have to be
yeah,
the best singer in the world. Again, Mary wasn't the
yeah,
best singer. Like I say, I
yeah,
like
Bro,
Tiana. I like
yeah,
what Tiana Taylor does. I think she gave me
yeah,
a little bit of what I
yeah,
want as a 35-year-old man. I think Tiana gave me a little bit of like,
yeah,
that bounce.
yeah,
yeah,
Like, cause she
yeah,
respects it. She gave us that bounce, so she's the
yeah,
closest to what
yeah.
I would like, where I would like things to go.
And I
She's the
think that's
closest.
and I think that's why Diddy was frustrated because those tracks they did on Bad Boy they worked together like
yeah,
112 would be in this studio and
yeah.
then Puff Daddy be working
Synergy.
on the Puff
Right.
Daddy be working on his album. So he like come here 112 sing the background I'll be missing you.
That's
You
what I'm saying.
know Faith
Synergy, bro.
married
Hey, right.
Faith
It was like
saying this part on One More Chance.
it was like they're like the Avengers or something.
Yeah,
Justice
yeah.
League. Like they all work
Yeah.
together.
And now it's all about email. Send your
Oh
verse.
yeah, that's man. You
Right.
can't make that. Who was that talking about? Troy, not Troy Taylor, but Ray Daniels.
Yeah.
He was talking about that. Like you can't make these. You can't recreate the '90s or whatever
Yeah.
you want to recreate or the '90s aesthetic or feel
And
through email.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why
right, look,
the hit maker songs is cool, but they're very sterile.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
Hitmakers records are very sterile, like a hospital. Like
Yeah.
it's
wow.
cool. They're not bad records, but they're just
Yeah.
very like
Yeah. Like the song with Young Blue and Two Chains. Like
I know that one.
Chris Brown did the hook. Sexy. You're the baddest one. The hook.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, 19,
yeah.
the baddest
Baddest
one.
one. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think Chris Brown did his verse somewhere else, but you don't feel
Yeah.
that synergy
You
like you
don't.
said. Yeah.
Right.
It's sterile, bro.
And
It's like we
and
don't
look,
get that. Like damn,
they don't even
popcorn,
promote
yeah,
it.
right there. Say
Yeah.
It's
what?
too many songs. They don't even have time to promote it, but the other artists will.
Yeah.
That's why it can't be Chris Brown. Like that's dead. It's got to
Yeah.
be somebody that got time to come get in the studio and make something organic
Yeah.
and create something. It's like
Yeah.
we don't get
What?
that. It's nothing
I'm
organic.
I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you an artist that was really good. He's still making songs every now and then, even though he ran into a situation. August Alsina.
Yeah. Yeah. He's good R&B.
My man played guitar for August Alsina. Like he did produce some of his one of his big. I think he did Downtown.
Oh.
Oh
I
wow.
think that was one
Wow.
of his bigger record. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, like
Like
just
his
going through
first
some things, man. He got demons, bro.
his first
Yeah.
album. Yeah.
But that's what made the song so daggone freaking
No,
dope.
different.
Yeah.
Because he was in so much pain.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
make
That was,
like the new artists make August look old
Yeah.
because
yeah,
like
yeah.
feelings make you look old.
Yeah.
Having
Yeah.
feelings make you look old.
And vulnerability too.
Make you
You
look
know.
old, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, like that's really
Yeah.
that's the separator. But like I said,
Yeah.
I like Blast. I
Yeah.
like Blast. I like his vibe. I like the Kendrick joint. The Kendrick joint with Blast.
Uh, what's the name
I
of
don't
that?
know what it's called, but
Oh.
it's on Kendrick's new album with Blast. I heard
Okay.
it. I just heard it on the as I was just letting the album play. I was
Yeah.
about to get in the shower. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. It's like this. That's
Yeah.
what it should feel like, but everything
Yeah.
don't feel like Blast. I like it.
ex,
Yeah.
ex, another one, Xavier Omar.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah.
I used to date a chick that loved him, but I never heard his music.
Oh, okay.
She loved that dude, dog.
I ain't listening to his music all day.
Yeah.
I just never like, we never got that far. You know, you want to listen to what your girl listened to, but we just never got to that point. But that's the only time I ever really heard of him.
And I think,
and I got some cool records.
And I think Jermaine Dupri and B. Cox trying to bring back the storytelling with that If I Get Caught, with the Vision song.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah, the idea of it, the story, the storyline.
And people are doing their own remixes to it. What y'all think about that?
I think it was like it's like a novelty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a novelty record. It's not. It might go down in history because of the novelty aspect of it, but it's not like.
I don't think
I thought it was going to be way better, better record
production. Yeah,
the production was like, what is this? I wasn't impressed with the production.
Sometimes Jermaine Dupri get kind of, I ain't gonna say lazy. Sometimes, but But the Ari Lennox, the Ari Lennox song was dope though. Pressure. The Pressures.
But see, that had more like
the girl we worked with, Jalen Joseph. She wrote that.
Oh wow!
What?
She wrote that. So we did her whole album.
Wow!
And then the next year or the next few months, she wrote Pressure.
Oh wow!
It sounds similar to the stuff that we did.
Oh
yeah. He probably heard y'all stuff too.
I was like. No offense, no diss, JD. No diss.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. That was a good memorable song.
All right. Let me ask you something though. Yeah. With that song being made, can that song still stand the test of time?
Pressure?
Years to come.
Pressure?
That's a good question.
Probably not. I mean, it sounds like a Jermaine Dupri record, which is like what's the Monica record? The
every time the beat drop.
Yeah, every time. Yeah. But see, we don't classify that as necessarily
a hit.
We don't really classify. We're not classifying that as really R&B though.
Yeah. That's kind of hip hop.
R&B.
Every time the beat drop. Oh,
I mean, not. When I'm talking about R&B, I'm talking about like urban, classical.
Again, it's the 2000s, so bro, it might not be. No,
which one? Which one? You talking about Pressure?
No, the every time the beat drops.
Oh, that's kind of like hip hop.
Yeah, hip hop R&B.
It's classic.
But what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I say Hours and Hours. Money Long is R&B. I mean that's R&B.
Like I say, some songs cut through.
Yeah,
we be right back to the same stuff, bro. We cut. It's just like I say, Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan. This Grammys, bro. The Grammys R&B category was one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Jasmine and her is carrying it.
Yeah. But I think people slept on reality show album too. Jasmine Sullivan. With Master.
Was that the one?
Let
Masterpiece.
Yeah, Let It Burn.
That song about lipstick on there. Something about
Mascara.
Mascara. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, that album was.
That was a good album. I think Hotels was better, but I think that was a good album.
Yeah, the Hostel had a better cohesive, album. Yeah. And that's what we're missing too.
What are we missing now?
Yeah, that's what we're missing, like a cohesive, like intros, interludes,
Man,
like all the songs fit together, like.
Look,
it's called trying.
Look, if you go to look, we're missing skits, we're missing intros and outros, and we're also missing remixes, different versions of the remix, like SWV. You go through all their remixes and stuff.
You just gotta get on TikTok to hear them. They give remixes.
Oh wait, yeah, true. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You just gotta get on TikTok. The remixes are in full effect.
Yeah.
I mean, but like I'm talking about like you know what I mean. Well, I'm
You
talking
mean
about
like
with the
officially?
producer, with the producer and the artist, like they like Teddy Riley when he was working with Blackstreet, like Baby Be Mine, you know, he remixed it so much, like he made it into different versions and stuff because like the connection of the song was so dope. They was like, let's make another version of it. Or
Yeah,
you take a group like Intro or Mint Condition, they remix their songs,
yeah, yeah,
unreleased stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that's
Hmm.
how on
Like
one accord they were. They were like, let's just like have
like
fun
the
and just make remixes.
like those R. Kelly remixes.
R. Kelly did Janet Jackson
Yeah,
anytime, any day.
yeah, yeah. That's
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? People don't even
Timberland had some cool mixes.
yeah.
That was the
Teddy
thing to
Riley.
Timberland,
do.
Yeah,
That was the
yeah,
thing
Teddy
to
Riley.
do. And it's like nowadays with streaming, you can really do it, especially if you're an indie artist
yeah,
and you're not signed to no label and tied up into no like super. If you're working with an artist like closely, and
yeah,
you got like exclusive agreements with them, and y'all can figure out how to do it. I be
yeah,
thinking
Yeah,
about that all the time. Like I feel like we got records that didn't come out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like dope records that never came out, or maybe they came out and they would do like let's run them back. Let's run them back and
right.
let's see if this one will work. Let's see if
yeah,
this one will work. Because sometimes it's just the record's already done.
You
You
yeah,
know?
but you know what? That's just like when an artist nowadays they'll take an old song or they put it on their album or something like that. Like you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Just because
yeah,
it was made years ago don't mean that you
yeah,
still can't play it as it's new today.
yeah. Or they make a live version of it. Yeah,
Or they'll take a song like Eric Bellinger. He'll
yeah.
take a song that he did on one of his albums and put it on another album.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know.
Yeah, I
yes,
like EB. I like
yeah,
EB.
yeah. And so in closing, you know, to each of y'all, you know, the question is, what do you think should happen in order for us to not, you know, bring this question up? Is R&B dead? What do you think? You the solution is?
We need to stop conforming
Mm,
and instead influencing.
yeah,
If we
that's good.
want to, in order to see the change, you have to be the change. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? I mean, that's the simple things we've always been told.
yeah,
I have to be an example in order to show you what the reason of why I'm trying to get it back to where it was.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I can't just wait on somebody. I have to be the change.
yeah,
It may not be popular at first, but if I continue at it, eventually people are going to catch on and be like, wow, his determination, his
yeah,
persistence and stuff is like, now I got to do it because
yeah,
now people are actually, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They're getting used to it's going to grow on them, just like a song. I may not be used to this song because of not being my liking, but that's what it's done with this music. They've
yeah,
just it is attached to them eventually, but you got to do
yeah,
the same thing with the music we trying to get it back to.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. What
Yes,
about
sir.
you, Jared?
I think great songs, man. Great songs take time,
Yeah,
and if we want to have anything like the songs that we grew up on or the songs that our parents grew up on, because I don't think we didn't drop the ball. I don't think
yeah,
not we. My bad.
yeah,
Really, my brother's generation, like before us, they didn't drop the ball. Like coming out of the
Hmm.
'80s, coming
yeah,
into the '90s, it was still rocking. It
yeah,
was rocking,
yeah,
and that's what Diddy said. Take hits from the '80s, and it sounds so crazy. Like
Yeah.
it
yeah,
was rocking. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It wasn't corny. It was
yeah,
still like it was still jamming. It was still about love,
Hmm.
and I
yeah,
understand that love is not, that's just because niggas was in love. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I'm a,
even in the '80s, like people was all like we had the crack
look.
era, but music was Michael still made Thriller. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Michael made Thriller
yeah,
in the '80s during
Right.
the height of the crack
yeah.
era.
Crack it.
Look.
Yeah,
So I feel like great music takes time is number one. My number one thing.
Oh.
Number two, producers learn
Uh,
how to play an instrument. Go hang out with somebody who plays an instrument.
yeah,
Co-produce with somebody that plays an instrument. Co-produce
right.
with somebody that went to church.
Right.
Even if you don't go to church or you know nothing about music, find you a
yeah,
Right.
co-producer that
yeah,
is deep in the church that plays organ, and just
yeah,
sit with them
yeah,
and understand how they think. Try your best. And then
yeah,
on the other, then
Right.
my last thing is artists and producers. Go get a job, man. Go get a
Right.
job so y'all not so thirsty for these deals.
yeah,
And go
yeah,
get a job, please. Go work at the
yeah,
plant.
Yeah.
Go do something, man. Like
Yeah.
get a
Yeah.
job because we be so thirsty for these deals. It leads us to be in the
And,
same cycles and traps as we was
and,
in
Yeah.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
Cadillac
Yeah.
Records.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't need a car because I already got one. Because I got a
360
job.
deals and
You
stuff.
don't give
Yeah.
me a
and,
Benz. I got an
Yeah.
Acura
and
outside, bro. Like, don't give
can
me no Benz.
I
Yeah.
want to say one more thing,
Yeah.
and I just like to refer it to as a movie, just for an example. Let's take Batman for example. There's so many Batman movies and stuff, and if you say what's your best Batman movie, you can even go back to like the Michael Keaton versions, but then you will say, oh, the one with Heath Ledger, because of the emotion that he had in there. Even though he passed away, even if he didn't pass away, that still would have been one of the best Batman movies. I'm saying that to say this is that the reason why the songs that we listen to are still classics because the emotion still stands. It
Yeah.
did something. It changed you. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that it left an impression. Maya Angelou said, "It's not how what I said, but it's how I made someone feel." So the
Yeah.
thing is that with this music thing, as long as these artists focus on that, everything else is going to follow. Of course, I need to make sure things get out on a business perspective, but I
Yeah.
still got to keep it at the core level because once they get a hold of it, I don't want it to collect dust. I want it to
Yeah.
keep going. I want them to pull it out, even if
Yeah.
it's every once in a while, just to be like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like
Yeah.
Jay, you brought out the Thriller, you got the vinyl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the thing is that, or CDs,
Yeah.
we still have these things because they
It's
mean something
it's
to
like
us.
it's like those albums. You still want to go and get the physical copy
You still want to
because
get the physical copy because it's
yeah.
worth it. That's what Tank said. Am I worth the physical copy?
Yeah.
Am I worth it?
Yeah.
Worth
So the
something.
thing
Man, I
is,
said that last night. It's worth something.
Yeah.
it
I mean,
is.
I bought Brownstone, a
Oh my
Brownstone
God.
album from the Goodwill the other like last year during the pandemic. I bought Britney
Grapevine.
Spears' first album.
Oh yeah.
I brought Immature's second or first album.
Yeah.
Just
No.
because I bought what's Erica Badu's second album called? First
Badism.
album called
Badism. Something.
Baduism.
Baduism. Yeah. Baduism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Baduism
Oh yeah,
was
that
like
one. Yeah,
it's like man, I just wanted to hear it
Yeah.
without being
bro.
distracted by like it's like when you
Yeah.
listen to streaming, you
Yeah.
listening to it, but I can also
Look,
click off and go to
Yeah.
something else. I just want to listen to the
look,
album with nothing else, no other
Yeah.
options.
Like
look.
Miseducation of Lauren Hill. They
That's
got
what
that
I
on
was about
vinyl.
to say that,
Yeah.
and that was only one
Album.
album. We still want her to make more albums, but that one album we'll never get tired of.
and
Make
I
something, make something
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you think people
I'm
gonna
passionate about
relate
that.
to, man.
and that
Yeah,
and that
word.
and the thing is, and I asked this question I think on Facebook. I said if Lauren Hill created a second album, would her legacy still be the same? What do y'all think?
Yeah.
You think?
Because even if we didn't like let's hypothetically say the second one wasn't so good, right?
Yeah.
We'll still go back to it. You know what I'm saying? We'll still
Yeah.
go back to it because we have something to compare it with.
Yeah.
See, you still that's not gonna not once something has been a foundation and you appreciate it is your
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
that's your baby.
Yeah.
You can't knock that because that's something that we've appreciated all along. Even if I didn't appreciate it, somebody else going to continue to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You can't that first album is not going to. It's like the movie Home Alone. I'll use those movies for example.
Oh yeah.
You got 4 movies, 2 of them were good, the other 2 were all right. They
Yeah.
won't like the other 2, but guess what? Just because those 2 were bad, don't mean those other 2 will never be. They're gonna
Yeah.
always be good.
Classics. Yeah.
Timing,
Classics.
yeah, it's just timing.
Because
Yeah.
I have something, you have something to compare
I
with.
don't know if Lauren could do another. Obviously, I'm not even
See-
asking or expecting her to do another
Yeah. Me either.
miseducation, but I think
Right.
Yeah.
I really
Or-
think the ship has sailed for her
Right.
because like it's like when we had the Lovers and Friends. When did Lovers
Yeah.
and Friends come out? 04?
Or four.
Not
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Like, what's the name? Came out in 98. The Lovers and Friends, they tried to do a part 2. I don't even know if they ever put it out.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking
They
about.
put
I
out
don't think
Lovers
they.
and Friends part 2.
I don't think so.
No, I think they was trying to though,
because it don't
Yeah.
even matter. It's too late.
Yeah.
and they did do a record about 2-3 years ago with all 3 of them, Ludacris,
Yeah.
Little
Oh,
John,
They did
and
something, yeah, they did.
But
something.
Yeah, I
was-
remember that.
but you ain't hearing about it now because it
And
wasn't
it
on
don't
that
feel the
level like
same
Lovers
because
and Friends.
music got to be a part of life.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you can't just give.
Look,
That's the whole thing. You can't just give people
Ma-
music in a vacuum. Like
Ma-
music is
Yeah.
a living, breathing
that's
Yeah.
thing. You know.
Yeah.
that's what Maxwell said.
Yeah.
That's why when he came out with Pretty Wings, he said it took
Yeah.
him 7 years.
Mm.
Cause he
Yeah.
said I had to live, like you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
R.
Yep.
Kelly even, I
Yeah.
mentioned him, I did. R.
Yeah.
Kelly said music is life. He
Yeah.
realized that. Y'all remember that
Timberland
clip?
too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that clip really really changed my perspective as far as songwriting when R. Kelly said that, because sometimes as songwriters we think so hard about lyrics,
right.
and you just think about life or you think about other people's situation, and you can write
And
something.
and I and you know
Boom, boom, boom.
because this is the thing. If if it's something you can relate to, it's always going to be relatable.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
means it's never going to be out of touch. It's like
Yeah.
you related to your family. You always going to be related to it because of the closeness that you have. That
And
means you
that's
could be far away and yeah. Go ahead.
and that's what
That's what
Drake.
music.
That's what people said Drake does when he write his songs. He think about
Take it right out
simple.
of his text messages.
Yeah, yeah,
But right, and that's
Yeah.
why Drake can take us. That's why Drake, this last project, people was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. This sounds like something I would hear on Forever 21, but
Yeah.
yet it grew on them
Yeah.
because
Like-
Look, that's why Law and Order is so good.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's why Law and Order got 20 seasons because that's why
Dun
it got so
dun
many
dun
spin-offs,
dun
'cause
dun.
But you,
it's based on reality.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but see too, the artist is willing to go somewhere and try something different and not be afraid because the people that listen to them are willing to trust them to lead it, continue to lead and say, okay, I ain't used to this kind of type of music, but because of the message in it, because it's relatable, I'm willing to
Yeah.
listen to the change, I mean,
Yeah.
but that's another conversation too, but
yeah, yeah. But yeah, appreciate y'all.
Man, no doubt,
Being on
bro.
this. This was a
Yeah.
good conversation, and it's long overdue. This conversation. As R&B Dead, because it's serious. Because we appreciate the music like the majority. We appreciate
Right.
90s R&B, 80s, 70s. But do we really want to bring it back? And that's the question. So. Yeah, and so appreciate y'all being up here, taking the
Right.
time to be on this show, and I hope
Hey.
y'all
It
have
was a pleasure.
yeah.
And this conversation, this was needful, and of course this is going to continue on and stuff, and we're going to get back to it. But I tell you one thing, I do believe because of this conversation, there is going to be some change. I do
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I supposed to had some ladies up here talking about this as well.
That would have been
But
excellent.
yeah.
Wait, how
but
many-
it was good. It would have been good, to hear it from their perspective
I
as
would
well.
love to hear it from that perspective.
Yeah.
All the ladies, well, it was three of them.
No, it's like two, but one of them said she was busy. She had something going
Well,
on.
y'all
And
going to
so-
part two?
I'm about to say, yeah, part two,
Part
we
two.
gotta have the ladies.
Yeah, we
first.
gotta have part two.
You
Yeah.
can't talk about R&B without the ladies.
Yeah.
Bro. We
'Cause I wanna
see
that-
lead them.
I wanted to see their perspective, especially talking about R. Kelly, because it might be a little more sensitive.
We need
See
that. We
see what
need
their view is, and then about the way male R&B is now. It's like going straight to the sex and stuff like that. So that'd be a good conversation.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Whenever.
Yeah. We gotta do that part too. Yeah.
Oh, and I want to say one more thing too. I do believe too that as the men, when we're more accountable with the music that we do and stuff, the ladies is definitely going to lead. Because I mean, not lead but follow, because they're going to see, okay, wow, like that. They're only a lot of times they're going by what's around them and they're competing themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we set more of an example of, hey, look,
Yeah.
we ain't gonna call you out your name and
Yeah.
say all this and treat you just like that,
Yeah.
even if you.
Yeah, because the ladies that were supposed to have been up here, one of them is older, so it's good to hear it from her
Right.
generation, and then the young, she's kind of from our generation, so it would have been good to hear both perspectives. But but we definitely gonna do a part two and appreciate y'all guys for being on this and great conversation. Long overdue, and so I appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed night.
Man,
All
I
right.
appreciate you, bro. Good night, man.
All right, good night, y'all. Good night, brothers. All right, you too, bro. All right, man. Y'all take care. All right.
All right.